Uh, Welcome to the powerful
What?
Komiksman podcast. What's up? Good evening, everybody. We're back. This is TPKP 44. Can you confirm if you're hearing audio? so, actually, I'm not good in announcing things in this
Ah,
show, 'di ba? Parang sablay-sablay ako. This is actually, I just finished the second season of this show.
so basically, this is your season 3 and episode 44.
Yes, this is the first episode in season opener of the third season,
Mm-hmm.
which is numbered number 44,
Yes.
if that makes any sense.
This is episode 44, and this is the episode that is opening for season 3.
Yeah, so
I do this too much.
you can hear her voice already. Let's just wait for a few more viewers, and then actually, tuloy na natin to.
You guys
Let's
see
see.
me
Wait,
eating, I'm sorry.
wait. A few reminders, please like and share the Powerful Comics Man podcast, especially this live stream, and also check out the YouTube channel. Naka 1,000 subs na ako finally. So, kumita na ako ng mga $3 and 60 cents. All right, welcome to everybody. Lito, Powerful Lito Madansala, Powerful Johnny Pagdanganan. Uy, si Chang Ella. Please share the live stream. This is an awesome episode. This is one of the episodes that alam mo yun, pinapangarap kong mangyari
Oh.
even before kumbaga parang finally I got to do it with the help of our special friend powerful Carlo Mendoza and which is yeah, madami-dami nang nanonood.
Yay.
So I can introduce you,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, Her Majesty, the Queen of Philippine Wrestling, Krystal. What's
Hello.
up?
Nice to finally be here
Yeah.
after a week of talking.
Oo nga, especially, well, I really appreciate you coming over despite of the rains and ano yun, and despite of the
the travel,
distance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I really scheduled this now because I just got home from Singapore.
Mhm.
I was there for 5 days.
Oo nga.
And then I'm going to be here in Manila for 2 days, and then I'm going to Palawan
Ah,
on
yeah.
Wednesday.
Oo nga, kaya,
And then going home Friday, and then Saturday is my prep for the big event,
big event.
which is Revolution X. It's happening on May 26th at the Power Max Center, Spotlight Ayala Circuit, Makati.
Astig.
So many things to say.
PWR, right?
PWR, Philippine
PWR.
Wrestling Revolution.
So, basta, there's so much to unpack in this interview.
Yes.
Teka, ayusin ko lang. Kasi you are one of the most interesting girls I know. Because of what you do, di ba? Kasi,
I do a lot of
yeah,
things.
especially, yun na nga, exactly. Pero of course, the most, let's get this out of the way first, di ba? Kasi you are the queen, like I said, the queen of Philippine wrestling,
Yes.
which is, alam mo yun, undisputed for me. I would even dare to say, queen of Asian wrestling.
Baka maraming umangal doon.
Basta ako, queen of Asian wrestling at least, and alam mo yun,
I mean, I did fight over. I just had my match in Singapore. It was for the Queen of Asia Championship.
did you win?
No, sadly no.
Oh.
It was
you're
hard.
still queen.
Yes, I'm still Queen of Philippine Wrestling.
No, pero I don't know if kasi when I watch your videos, you constantly upload the videos of your matches, and there's just something.
Short clips, yeah.
There's just something about you that stands out.
Yeah.
It stands out with the competition, even kahit sa abroad eh. So there's, I mean, I bet in 3 years you're gonna be in WWE.
Let's not go there.
Basta, this is, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first here. Potentially our first Pinay.
Hopefully.
WWE.
I was supposed to be.
Wow, already?
Supposed to be.
O see? The
But,
konting ano na lang.
Stuff happened.
Would you like to
Because every year, well, there's only been 2 seasons of WWE Mae Young Classic, which is basically
Mae Young Classic,
Mae Young
okay.
Classic. That's the name of the tournament. It's a 32-woman, tournament, and basically, they face off brackets, and it gets smaller, and then last 2 fights for the winner of the Mae Young Classic tournament. The first one was in 2017 and then 2018. I was supposed to be part of 2018.
Oh, and then what happened?
And then the embassy declined my visa.
What?
I'm just gonna clear this
Minor
up.
hiccup.
I'm just gonna clear this up because a lot of people have been throughout the year have been vocal, like, why did you say no to WWE? They said no to you, didn't they?
What?
Like, why didn't you go? And I was like, I can't say that I couldn't go because visa.
Why couldn't you say that?
Non-disclosure.
Oh.
Yeah.
But now,
I think it's done.
okay. Ganun.
Yeah, no, because honestly, the women in that tournament deserved the spotlight more than me, and like it was just a little hiccup along the road. So I'm trying to get there, slowly but surely.
What year is this again?
2018.
So that was last year.
Last year around October, I believe. But I was really sad. I got depressed.
Oh.
Then I cried like 2 weeks straight. No, because that was my chance, It was like, oh, the first actual homegrown talent. Because no disrespect to Batista or
Well, you're a female.
no,
Diba?
I mean like
Everybody-
no disrespect to Batista or like TJ Perkins, but there's no actual homegrown full
yes.
talent from the Philippines that has gone to WWE because you have the I think Batista's half Filipino, half Greek.
Half Greek,
So
right?
so like they're not full. So I feel like if someone from Manila, homegrown, kumakain ng isaw, kumakain ng kwek-kwek.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean I know more Filipino words than mabuhay. Mabuhay.
Mabuhay.
Yeah.
Well, parang, not to pabayaan na natin si Batista. pero yeah, the homegrown
You
aspect.
can't really see him anyways.
No, 'di ba? And he's I don't follow wrestling that much anymore, even WWE. Pero last time yung last na napakinggan ko, nabalitaan ko is he was in WrestleMania yata.
Yeah, he was. It was
Tapos
his
parang
retiring match.
oo nga silang dalawang Triple H tapos parang underwhelming daw.
It was because both of them aren't that active in the ring
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Triple H has done the more authority type of figure in WWE. I mean, he's
Yes.
still amazing at wrestling, but you know,
They're
he's
not
not.
at their
It's
prime.
I don't. It's not their prime anymore.
Mm-mm.
Their prime was like Attitude Era and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So.
Oh, they were the best.
Mhm.
They were the best back then. So, and Batista has his Hollywood career now, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So, mas
Which is
maganda.
going great for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I love him in, you know,
I didn't see him
I
in
didn't
the
see him at
movie.
all. He stood,
Yeah.
he was like
He was
standing
so
too still.
stealthy.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyway, so back to you.
Mhm.
So first homegrown, but so you didn't get the part last year, but then on the good side, it's another year for you to hone your talents
Yeah.
even more, so that when they
I
finally
mean, yeah.
perform on that stage, talagang pulidong-pulido ka na, mas refined ka na than
I
compared
mean,
to last
a
year.
lot has happened. Cause why don't we just go back from the start?
Sure. Okay, okay. How
Okay,
did
okay.
you how did
How did
you
I start?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Why of all things
Wrestling.
wrestling?
Start na start to.
Yes,
So
yes.
basically, when I was 4 years old, yeah.
Oh,
4 years,
okay.
really start, yeah. My grandmom got breast cancer.
Oh,
Yeah, sad,
okay.
but it's what
Grandma.
grandma.
Grandma, oh, yeah.
And then my grandma used to love WWF.
Mm.
Super crush na si Bret Hart, and then super astig daw ni
Favorite ko
Undertaker.
rin yun.
Yeah.
Oo.
So she had a massive crush on Bret Hart. Undertaker was like one of the people she found so astig and
Mm-mm.
stuff like that. So what happened is when she got breast cancer, what apparently my mom and uncle would do, like they would rent out VHS tapes in Video City, plug it into the tiny TV screen, like
Mm-mm.
the tiny TV on the mounted wall, like
Okay.
that was parang they plug in the VHS and stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
You know, like VHS player, blah blah blah. So even though like she was going through chemotherapy, she had an IV in her veins. What she would do while watching wrestling, she
Mm-mm.
would actually cheer and clap, and she was having fun.
Mm.
Kahit nasasaktan siya.
Mm-mm.
Like even though she had an IV in her vein, like she was suffering through breast cancer and
Mm-mm.
chemotherapy.
Buti may TV dun sa...
But then, that was kind of, rare at the time. It was
Oo
like
nga, di ba?
1998.
She's in the hospital during this time,
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Okay.
She would be in a hospital during this
Okay.
time. So, ayun. When I was a kid, like, I saw what wrestling did for my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, for me, like, wrestling is kind of an escape,
Mm-hmm.
like, of our reality. It's another reality kasi.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're in that wrestling world,
Mm-hmm.
you're just captivated but of what's happening in the ring. Cause like, kunyari, I'm watching wrestling when I was a kid.
Mm-mm.
Like I would forget that I would have homework or whatever.
Oh.
I would just be watching,
Mm-mm.
because I'm so into it. Because the wrestlers, what they work to do is to capture you and captivate you, make you feel their pain and stuff like that. Because you want to cheer for the good guy,
Yeah.
boo the bad guy. So that's what we do as wrestlers. We try to captivate you
Yeah.
so that you would do this,
What era did you start?
no, kasi I've been watching since I was 4, basically. So yun, so
Okay.
when I was 4, I was like, I want to be a wrestler too.
Mm-mm.
Weirdly enough, like this tiny little Filipina girl in Olongapo City, Subic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Subic.
Shout out
Um,
to taga Subic.
Yeah. Tapos yun, sa West Tapinac. And
Mm-mm.
then, I grew up there, and like this tiny little girl in the hospital,
Mm-mm.
wanting to be a wrestler for WWE.
It
It was a
do you
wild
remember
dream.
do you remember any comments or mga sinabi nila about you during that time? And
Wala.
so,
Pero
batang to,
actually, merong super weird na story for my grandma. My mom told me this story before.
Mhm.
What happened was she was pregnant with me.
Mhm.
I don't have any brothers or sisters.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a single mom, only child.
I see.
So when she was pregnant with me, my lola and my tito were watching WWF.
Mhm.
As in wala pang breast cancer.
Mm-mm.
And then they were watching WWF. And then my mom passes by and she says, "What are you guys watching again? Ano na naman pinapanood ninyo?"
Mm-mm.
It's like, and my grandma says, like, "Of course it's wrestling. Syempre wrestling." And then because my mom really hated it because like to her it was just violence.
Ah,
And then she was like, she passed by, and for some reason, she couldn't stop watching. So she snuck in, like, she passed by, trying to be all, I hate this, hindi maganda to. Ayan, she passed
okay.
by, and then she was like, behind the bars of like our staircase, back in Olongapo, in Subic, she would be watching like in between the bars. So it was so cute. So parang like that, she was hiding from my grandma and my tito.
Bakit?
Kasi she was against it eh. So parang it's like she feels guilty of being against it, but then she's watching it. So yun. And after the show was done, apparently my lola found her watching, and she was like, "Oh, anak, mag-ingat ka, baka yung apo ko maging wrestler."
Oh my God.
The foreshadowing is real. Basically, my grandma said like, be careful. My granddaughter might be a wrestler for those English speaking only people there. Because my boyfriend might be watching. So. He only speaks English.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can, we should, speak a little bit more English for the future, So that,
Awkward.
okay.
Anyway, so yun, and then, I think it was like 5. Back in 2014, October of 2014. No. Basta the month, October 2014, me and my friends were starting to watch WWE again. We were like, in school, like parang there were like 5 people who would watch wrestling. And then we would get together like after Monday Night Raw, like we would discuss like, why did this happen?
Talaga?
Why? And then
A bunch of girls.
No.
Okay.
I was the only girl,
I
and they were
see,
guys, and like, parang like, why did Roman Reigns do this? Why did Seth Rollins? Did you see Seth Rollins' heel turn? He blah blah blah. Like that. So like we were all freaking out. So what we would do? That's what we would do on the regular. And then one of my friends said, "Oh guys, there's this new thing in Manila. There's wrestling now. There's a wrestling school. Why don't we try out? Maybe we can actually be wrestlers." Wow. And then we sent in our videotapes, which I find funny because I think JDL knows this because I sent
JDL is
Jake De Leon, which
okay.
is like he's
yeah. Si Señorito.
Mr. Philippine Wrestling. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically. And then what happened was we sent in our videos, and basically they said like name, age, where you're from.
Where is this?
No, like video lang.
Video
yeah,
lang.
Yeah,
okay,
cell phone.
Okay.
And then name, age, where you're from. Do you have any athletic background? Tapos, why do you deserve this? So parang like they're asking you to do a promo. But basically it was like a kind of interview. It's just to introduce yourselves. So what I said is like, I'm Vernice Gabriel. I am 21 at the time. I think I was 20 or 21. I'm 20 or 21 years old, and I have a black belt in Taekwondo. I used to do cheerleading, and you should accept me because I'm a girl. That's exactly what I said.
Really?
Yes, and then I got accepted.
Well, actually, it's short, pero okay. Kung nga kayong titingnan.
No, kasi at the time, there were no guys, I think.
No
there
girls.
were other girls who were in training, but then they would like, what happened was they quit, and then they would come back. So it was that type. So I was the only one who stayed a while.
I see.
So then I got in. First day of training, first day of boot camp. Second batch of boot camp.
Second batch ka na.
Yeah, I was second batch because our first batch were the originators, which is basically, Ken Warren, Jake De Leon, Chris Panzer, the guys the guys you've seen. Because at that point, like the only show you've seen, like dun pa lang nade-develop yung batch 2.
I see.
So that's what happened, and then I never stopped training for like I think 3 years. I got injured in January of 2015.
3 years
No,
training ka lang.
What happened was like I was in boot camp for 14 months, and then I debuted as an announcer.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
And then 16 months, 2 months after that. So, like, it took me 16 months to debut as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun.
More than a year.
More than a year.
Mm-hmm.
No, also, I got injured.
I
Then.
see. Yeah,
Pero,
yeah. Okay.
I think for 3 years, I never stopped training.
Mm-mm.
As in, every Sunday, I would be there.
Okay.
It was only until, like, last year that I got busier. Or, like,
Yeah.
this year that I'm, like, not all the time here. So,
Well, because you're busy with the
with
wrestling
work,
gigs.
wrestling,
Diba?
work, sad life, work.
So, did you even imagine? So, no, I mean, this would be the words of your grandma would
No.
become, I mean,
No, kasi
reality.
what freaked me out was my mom told me this story. Like, I was a year into wrestling already.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Mm.
Kasi she wasn't really the most supportive at first.
Mm-mm.
Like, when I started out, sad story, but I had clinical depression. I was diagnosed with
see.
major depressive disorder
Mm-hmm.
before into wrestling. I was like, I was that college girl who was lost. I was just doing the whole party thing.
Mm.
And then, like, oh, let's try out wrestling. I was like, sure, why not? And
I
then I started wrestling, and it started making me happier. I started finding myself. So, like, that's why I'm so thankful for wrestling also. Because it helped out my grandmom, it helped me out. So, ayun, so I never stopped wrestling. I'm happy. I know who I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just some party girl. Sometimes
Mhm.
I still party, but
Yeah, of course.
I'm a lot of things now. I'm a wrestler, shoutcaster.
Yeah, let's talk about that later.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So, like, a lot of other things as well. I do corporate jobs for Benchmark Consulting, which is big, corporate stuff.
Really.
I have some model on the side, so
Mhm.
I do a lot of things.
Before wrestling, yeah,
Mm.
what were you doing aside from?
I was a college student.
Okay.
Oh, well, funny story. I have been in 3 colleges and I've had 3 courses.
Oh, really?
No, because I was that indecisive.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
a lot of people, a lot of kids are like that.
My first college was San Beda Alabang for
Mhm.
international studies.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my second, I transferred out. I went to because that was like what my mom wanted me to do,
Mhm.
because I'm good with languages and knowing stuff.
Mhm.
And then I wanted to try to fashion design and stuff like that. So I
Okay.
transferred out to Benilde,
Mm-mm.
and then I tried fashion design, and then that kind of wrecked me because I was
Correct.
because I was in the whole Taft life.
Okay.
You know, happy Thursdays,
I
beer
see.
pong.
I see. I see.
Like, and I don't really remember much of the college.
Because you were so wasted.
No, it wasn't because I was wasted. I was just more, like, sometimes you don't remember what you do in class, but you
Mhm.
remember what you do after class. Because, like, merong times na parang, oh, this guy is puking in a bucket. Like, that's what, like, yun yung magsistick sa mind mo.
Mhm,
Parang,
mhm.
what the fuck? What the
I
hell is
see.
happening?
So you were very distracted
Yes,
about
very
these things.
distracted.
Okay.
So then I was like, nah, I'm done with this whole thing. And then I transferred to Meridian International for
Mergent? I'm not
it's
familiar
Mint
with
College in McKinley Hill.
that. Okay.
It's a relatively small school. It just started. Like, when I transferred in, it was like only a year old.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think a year or two. Like, I
What-
think they were 2 years old.
What did you take up?
Music business management, major in sound
Music.
sound production
Wow.
and
Are we gonna
performance.
do a jam cast
I
here?
just got learned, no.
No, no, because we do jam cast. I invite musicians here. They play. Maybe next time.
I haven't. Okay, I only sing in the shower nowadays, and like karaoke sometimes.
yeah.
I sometimes sing my boyfriend to sleep.
Lucky guy. Okay.
I have the
So-
whole weird voice. I don't know.
Mm. Well, sabi mo kanina, you're interested in the languages. You were speaking in Japanese earlier before we went live, so
Hi.
I suppose. Yeah.
Daijoubu?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Nan desu ka?
Yun.
Nani?
I've-
Nani sore?
I don't know. I can't even think of a reply.
Basically, hi is yes.
Mhm.
H-A-I. Hi.
Mhm.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I because I pick up on languages quite fast.
Mm-mm.
I know more Japanese because I watch too much anime.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, according to my list, I have watched 45 days worth of anime.
45.
45.
I've always been interested in
Well,
watching
when you think about it,
anime.
because it's kind of disturbing.
Mm-mm.
Because
Why?
an episode is 25 minutes long.
Okay. Yeah. So.
So it is disturbing.
Mm-mm.
I've seen too much. No, because I've finished all the
Oh, what?
Narutos. I've finished Pokemon, and those are
Mm-mm.
just the big two long ones. I think it's not even including
Tapos
other
na,
stuff.
tapos na ba yung ang Naruto?
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
because
Natapos na.
they're on Boruto now, which is
Mm.
Naruto's son.
I see.
I hate him.
Anyway.
Because I started watching it. I was like, he wants to be stronger than his father, but your father has like
Oh shit.
the power of the nine-tailed fox in him. You know, like he was OP. Basically, I hate Boruto.
I'm pissed that I can't relate.
But yeah, I've seen too much. Yeah. So like me being able to pick up on languages and accents, it's also annoying because sometimes I pick up on accents, right?
Mhm.
So whenever I'm in a country, like when I was in Singapore, I was picking up the la. I wasn't trying to be racist or anything.
Mhm.
I was just picking it up.
What la?
Keno la.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Pero you just came back from Singapore, no?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I had to reset.
So
What did I do to reset? I watched.
I saw your posts.
Yes.
You were hanging out with what's his name?
A-Train.
A-Train. Yeah. So why?
Wala lang.
Bakit?
Because it's still unbelievable to me that it happened.
Really?
Okay, so 2 years ago,
Mhm.
January of 2017,
Mhm.
WWE made a scouting trip in Southeast Asia.
Mhm.
So they went to Singapore, Malaysia, and the Philippines.
Okay.
So they have the video on Facebook, I think, or on the WWE website as well. So that's how they found me in the first place. So they went in, they scouted, they interviewed a lot of people in Singapore, they interviewed me,
Mhm.
and then next thing I know, you receive an email and they're going down again, blah, 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 blah. And then
Going down. What do you mean going down?
going down to Asia again.
Ah, okay, I
So
see.
basically, they're just scouting around,
Okay.
looking for people. I guess I don't know why.
Mhm.
I'm just really nervous. Like when I met, it was like a training. We were having this training in Singapore Pro Wrestling. Andrew Tang, the statement, he was leading the training.
Mhm.
So and then Matt Bloom was there,
Mhm.
and then
Matt Bloom is A-Train, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just like, you know how you have mental blocks sometimes.
Mhm.
I was having body block.
Body block.
Like there are things that in wrestling, like we do these rolls, like we do handstands,
Mhm.
headstands, like
You mean drills?
yeah, drills.
Okay.
Normally I can do them fine,
Mhm.
but for some reason they were in front of me and I was like, why can't I do this today? I was like trying to do my headstand. I was like, why can't I can normally do this. Like I can balance myself and then roll into it, but for some reason today I can't. So basically, I was just having the worst body block ever.
Ah, so you had
We basically trained in front of them. It was kind of
Yeah, this is you.
yeah. We were kind of. It was kind of jarring because he's the head coach of NXT, I believe.
How big is this guy?
I was on my tippy toes.
Really?
I was already
That's
on
a
my
huge man.
like considering I was
Grabe.
already on my tippy toes in that one.
Mhm.
He yeah.
Well, he used
I'm
to
like
be.
1/4 of.
And he's not even the biggest guy in the WWE.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if I stand beside Big Show
Oo nga,
or
no?
Mark Henry. I would disappear. I feel like I'm just one leg of Big Show.
Kahit si John Cena nga lang eh. Just John Cena. So,
John Cena.
you're gonna...
Honestly, John Cena, like, wow.
You've seen him in person?
No.
No?
I'm not even. I don't even. I feel like if I see him in person, I would be like I would just be like.
You're gonna be hanging out with him
no,
sooner or later.
don't say that. Don't say that. Oh my God.
No.
Pressure.
Well, I think they missed out on you last year. Kumbaga, parang, well, I think it's, you know
Also,
how,
a part of me feels like maybe it wasn't time yet.
yeah, maybe, actually, that's probably it. But then again, who else are they gonna get from Asia?
I don't Alexis Lee from Singapore,
Sure,
Gypsy from
but
Thailand.
sure,
A
but
lot
if
of
they're
other women,
getting
yeah.
them, they'll be getting you as well.
Mhm.
Come on.
Well, I want to get there. I want to,
Of course.
make the Filipinos out there proud because, you know how whenever there's a Filipino somewhere,
Mhm.
all the other Filipinos just support.
Yeah,
Like when people found out Bruno Mars was
half Pinoy.
partly Pinoy,
Yeah.
they were like, "Wow, Bruno Mars!" Like whenever there's like there's a Filipino in some kind of idol.
Mhm.
Like if it's like I don't know, American Idol or whatever idol, or like what's that, X Factor. Whenever there's like a Filipino act, and people find out that they're Filipino,
Mhm.
and then it starts trending on Facebook that they're Filipino,
Mhm.
and then the whole Filipino community is
Yeah.
like support.
Pinoy pride.
Yeah.
Well, yun. Well, it gets a bad rap sometimes, but I think Pinoy pride is still good,
Mhm.
'di ba? Yun kasi never mind. Basta, pero one of these days, basta I think maybe you should I'm gonna ask you one thing. How do you imagine your first match with Ronda Rousey? or
Ronda Rousey.
is she pala? Is she out
She's
na?
in WWE still, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe we should
that's
start.
the sad thing
start,
about being a wrestler.
Why? What?
I don't have enough time to watch a full-on show anymore.
Oh, really?
No, because okay, so I commend the wrestlers from PWR, MWF, SPW, like wherever,
Mhm.
whatever company you're in. I commend you for watching the 3-hour show. It's just I work out every day.
Mhm.
I work also, like, also because partly I have to play games for work
Mhm.
because I'm a shoutcaster. So basically, I need to know what's
How often do you do that? I haven't seen your videos kaya, I think.
normally because I don't have any streaming platform yet.
Really?
I'm working into that.
Okay.
So I am shoutcasting TNC Cup for Rules of Survival now.
Really?
It's broadcast on the games page actually.
Can we find that? Where can people
Actually, I have a
see
page.
that? A page?
I do. I have a
Oops, look.
Facebook page.
Ah, really? In
Yes.
Krystal?
No. Vernice Gaming.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Oh, everybody, guys, follow Vernice Gaming. Vernice Gaming.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, mag-hi tayo sa mga
Alright.
powerful Nico David is
There you
in the
go.
house. Johnny Pagdanganan. May mga tanong dito and
sige lang.
sabi ni Ella, Michaela, para ka daw beauty queen.
After girl, wait lang, kumakain ako.
Wala pa si Carlo eh. So,
No, it has been a long trip, okay?
mhm.
I was in Parañaque.
Oo nga eh,
I mean,
diba?
I live in Parañaque. I went all the way to Commonwealth.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's why I'm really
It was like a
thankful.
It was like a 2-hour long, travel thing on a motorcycle.
Hey everybody, share this video, share this live stream. We're gonna be here for a while pa.
Mukha ko.
So this is mas active ka ba dito sa Vernice Gaming?
I'm more active on my wrestling page.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Which
Actually,
is
I'm more active on Instagram.
which is
Actually, yan, wala lang ako ma-post, so pinost ko yan.
this is not shoutcasting.
No, but normally I would share. There you go.
No, just kidding.
There you go.
that one.
That's some shoutcasting right there.
Are you, speaking of shoutcasting, since nakita ko rin tong si Nico David. Nico David is one of a YouTuber na commentator. If you're familiar with the Victor Magtanggol videos, siya yun, si CGI
Oh, okay.
Kamatis. Anyway, naalala ko lang siya kasi lagi siyang nag-share ng mga streamers.
Mhm.
Diba naging nag-boom kasi nagkaroon ng Facebook
Yeah,
gaming
it really did boom
'Di ba?
recently. I'm trying to get into that boom, but
Oo nga.
cameras are expensive and well, for a wrestler.
Mhm. I'll show you how. Yeah, this is this
I mean,
setup.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
just that okay, because weirdly enough, wrestling is actually expensive.
Really?
I mean, my boots cost like 8,000 pesos.
Really?
Yes.
Where do you get those?
America.
Talaga?
Yeah.
As
What would happen is like I would order, and if one of my friends is coming home, like from America to the Philippines, I would like, hey, pasabay.
talaga? How
Yeah.
many boots do you have? You gotta have several kasi magkakaiba yung
Wrestling
mga
boots?
Mhm.
4?
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I have the old one. They're basically retired, but if I still need to use them, I can still use them.
Mhm.
Also because my boots are quite special. If you see one of those wrestling photos,
Which one?
my boots are thigh high.
Ah, yeah.
They're thigh high lace up boots, basically.
So everybody, so those who are not familiar with, wait. Wait. Tanggalin natin yung sound.
Yung audio.
Let's make sure there's no sound para makapag-usap tayo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's me versus Kali Nwaba. That happened last month, April, at PWR Live Destino.
So,
That's me with the very, ponytail look.
Mm.
Tuhod sa mukha. Yeah, and you're about to see one of my signature moves. I call it the Krystal cutter, I think. It's a sliced bread number 2.
did you come up with your signature moves? Did they how do you come up with those? Did they let you choose
Yeah,
or
I mean, yeah, they basically let us just, tuhod sa mukha.
Oh, I like your submission hold. What do you call that?
I call it, I forgot. Crystallized?
Crystallized.
Yeah.
What's this move?
It's just a split leg drop. There you
Oh,
go. Hi.
I really like the moves. I really like how
And
you.
then that's where you go. Okay. Oh.
Whoa!
Okay. Yeah.
Even how you enter the
And the
ring.
yeah, I split into it.
Did you choreograph it?
Well, because I had like cheerleading background, right? And I basically did a lot of sports during my time.
Ding! Another
My-
point
Yeah.
in favor of you.
And then basically, I think you can search up my entrance video on my Krystal page.
Yeah, I saw that.
It has my all the splits, and actually it has basically my moves.
Actually, even your crown crown gesture. What do you call that?
I just do it.
Is there a standard name for those kinds of things?
There's no like name for the move itself.
Is this it? Is this it?
Let's scroll down.
I scroll down. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oops. Okay.
I think it's pretty recent. Sorry. Is that?
This is your no.
These are my highlights, I think.
Is this it? No.
Go down.
Maybe in videos.
Maybe. No, because I shared it there.
Okay.
Check natin.
Then dyan lang yan.
Mm-hmm.
So, how many special moves do you have na unique para sa'yo?
The ones that only I do.
Mm-mm.
I do the crystallized, which is my submission hold. Can you?
Ito ba yan? Maybe this is it.
No, I don't think so. Sorry.
No?
Let me put on my glasses real quick, because I am blind as a bat.
Really?
No, sometimes people think that whenever I'm in the ring, I look so intense. It's just me. I can't see. So like whenever I'm looking like this to my opponents, right? I'm just trying to really see them.
Well, works for you.
No, because I can't have contact lenses because I have astigmatism.
Ganun ba yun?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think you have to have really a specific type of. Where is it? Oh my god. Can you just scroll?
Nandiyan na
right?
yun.
No, lagpas ka na ata.
Lagpas na?
Lagpas na
Hindi
ata.
ba yan?
Hindi.
Okay.
Si Alexis to yan. She's a bitch.
Is this it?
Sorry.
Catch the full. I think this is it.
No, that's a match.
Okay.
That's a teaser. Eh?
Dun, dun, dun.
Eh?
Yan. No.
What does it say?
Uh,
Hey,
hey everyone, if you haven't noticed
oh,
by
that's
now,
it.
that's it.
That's it.
Okay, everybody. Whoa! Oh, sorry.
Well, you can put on the music where people can hear it, I guess. Just lower
I
the
think.
volume.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I fling myself around.
Ah, so those are your moves. Those
Yeah,
are your signature moves.
That's the Krystal cutter. Malaysia?
Damn, how long did you train to be able to do these things? Kasi when I first saw you perform, parang medyo hindi pa refined masyado eh. Pero right now when I see them, it's
That's my finisher. I call it the soulmate.
whoa! Oh, you see that? You see that? That's something else.
That's the crystallized.
That's a star, man. Oh, that one.
I was so young. I was a youngin.
See? Oh man, yeah. Have you been had the scouts seen your reel,
My
your
I-
fight reel? Or?
maybe. I mean, when they emailed me, apparently they had like a profile on me,
Mhm.
so it's kind of scary because I didn't know that they were basically watching.
Of course,
Yeah.
they gotta be.
So when they scouted, I thought that it was just like, oh, this new girl, so let's just show her off. And but basically they do actually have a
Mhm.
you know profile.
How? Kasi if you're gonna think about it, how many promotions like PWR are there, diba? Even in here in the Philippines, I think we have two or
Three.
three, right?
Mhm.
Ah, yeah, three. So
The other one's just in active.
yeah. I think pero I think I've talked to one of them.
Mhm.
So I think they're gonna be launching again soon, and maybe they can come over here too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm
See-
sorry if you guys just see me eating this whole time.
No problem. We
This
eat
is
here all the
This is
time.
actually secretly a mukbang.
Oh, there's Carlo. We should take a shot for Carlo.
Wow.
Ako, I'm gonna kasi Carlo is supposed to give us. Actually, Carlo is one of the show's best friend eh, no? Basta he's a friend of the show, and he supports TPKP all the time.
Mhm.
So be like Carlo, everyone.
Yes.
So yun. Anyway,
Yes.
how long did you have to train to be able to do these things ulit?
The first thing that I wanted to learn in training, I think, was the head scissors takedown, which
The what?
The head scissors take.
Okay.
It's I twirl. I jump and I twirl. It's hard to explain.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, basically, I jump on at the side of my opponent, put
Mhm.
my legs up between their head, and then twist my body and whirl around, and then
Okay.
they go slamming on the mat on the ring.
Okay.
Basically, that's it. It's hard. It's easier to show the video, but
Okay.
it was there.
Mm-mm. Ah, yeah, the one that parang parang tornado something blah blah.
Kind.
Uh,
Basta yun.
And also,
And then
okay.
basically wrestling is basically like the more you do something, the better it's gonna look in the future. So I just had to repeat doing it and over and over again. So
Mm-mm.
until like, oh, it looks better now. Yeah. So before, like my kicks, my stuff wasn't really that refined as you said, but then
Mhm.
apparently some people think that I'm more like snappier in the ring now. I look more polished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it also depends on kasi it's a match. So
Mm.
if one is refined yung skills niya and the other one, yung ka-dance partner mo is not really well-versed pa as
Yeah.
well-versed as the other one,
I mean,
mag-iiba talaga eh, di ba?
there are some people who's tried to do like my moves on me,
Mm-mm.
but then it doesn't really work that way because I've mastered this shit kind of, so
Okay.
doesn't hurt as well. I mean, as much as they would want it to, I guess.
Okay.
In a way. But so, you know how whenever some like kunyari, say si John Cena, uh, spinine buster siya na powerbomb siya, pinowerbomb niya si Batista.
Mm-mm.
Pero pag si Batista yung nag-powerbomb kay John Cena, mas devastating.
Oo nga eh, di ba?
May ganun na stories and, you know, effectiveness or critical.
How did you kasi 'di ba yung correct me if I'm wrong, pero as far as I know, yung pinakang parang code ng wrestling is kayfabe, 'di ba? Parang so kayfabe is how would you define it? Siguro mas maganda pag ikaw nag-define.
Kayfabe is basically the separation between wrestling and life.
Okay.
So, Kayfabe, I am the Queen of Philippine Wrestling. I am Krystal. That's Kayfabe on. Kayfabe off, I am Vernice. I am a shoutcaster, gamer, dork, anime fan. I do these type of things, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
So, it's like, it's the same, I think, because whenever you see people, like, it's also to separate, like, big things getting too real. Because sometimes, meron mga tao nagkakapikunan.
Talaga?
Like, I mean, you know how there's wrestling trash talk.
Sa PWR ba may ganun?
I don't wanna dip into that.
Okay.
But pero kasi meron, kunyari, you know how there would be trash talking?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, whenever we cut promos, like whenever they say like, oh, you're this, you're that, you're that. Wala namang kwenta eh. Ganon. It is a touchy subject because, you know, you're basically trash talking the guy. And as a normal human being, you want to, you know, shut a person up or like defend yourself. But then as a wrestler, you're gonna have to take that and make a better, like, you know, a more intelligent response.
Yeah.
Or you can't just like,
Did you have training in cutting promos or?
When it was my batch, no.
Oh, okay.
Kasi
Were you a natural on the mic or at least you felt you're a natural? Or?
During my first year, I was really nervous. I would get nervous whenever I cut promos. But then I think because what should I call this? I've always been walang hiya eh. I've always been, you know.
Walang hiya is good in wrestling.
In my case right now, it's good because I'm a shoutcaster. I basically talk for a living, and my face is always in cameras.
Yeah.
And then like I'm a wrestler, so it's always like, you know. Pero there used to be a time when like it was my first year into wrestling. I would actually have to memorize lines so that I wouldn't mess up. But nowadays I'm just like, this is my character. I say what I want.
Yeah.
You know.
So you don't walang binibigay na script sa inyo?
I mean, I think in the big leagues meron siguro. Like
okay.
I feel like in WWE you have to touch on certain, like WWE maybe there's scripts or like at least like a guideline that you have to touch these subjects.
Okay.
So because I was in India. I was in India last March. It was for a TV taping for the sport. It was Wrestle India Nation. It was a taping. So merong things na parang, you know, storyline. Merong things na you have to say.
I see.
Pero, you know, you can just basically, basta may pointers na kailangan mo sabihin to. You can say whatever you want, pero kailangan ma-hit mo yung subjects.
I see.
I think that's also how they do it in the EU. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not there yet, so.
Well, you find out eventually. Well, probably, kasi it looks obvious naman eh, di ba? If you're gonna, well, of course, meron pa kayong nanonood dito na, who thinks wrestling is real?
Well, wrestling isn't fake, though.
Oh, okay. No, what I meant was, kasi there
right
were...
word? What's the right word?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Scripted.
Scripted. I see.
No, because, okay, the thing is, wrestling isn't fake per se because, yes, it's scripted.
I see.
Because, well, it's this script is what differentiates wrestling from just any other
Yes.
fighting sport.
Mm-mm.
Because like, if you just see people beating each other up in the ring, it's basically MMA or
Yeah.
boxing or something like that.
How bad does it suck when you hit the canvas? Really?
Yeah.
Talaga?
Yeah, like okay, I've taken choke bombs, I've taken power bombs,
Mm.
suplexes. I was part of a Tower of Doom before. I wasn't
What's
top.
the Tower of Doom?
Basically, there's a person at the top turnbuckle,
Mm-mm.
and then there's two people on like the either top turnbuckle as well with the person or like second rope,
Okay.
and there are people underneath you who are power bombing. So basically, it's a tower. There's a suplex while a power bomb.
I see. I see.
Yung
I see.
big corner
yeah,
move
yeah.
na gumagano.
Yeah, I see.
So
I
basically,
see.
I've been part of one of those. It wasn't nice.
Are you in the receiving end?
Yes, I
Oh,
was.
shit.
I was in the power bomb receiving end.
Really?
I wasn't the suplex one, but
Can you do a power bomb?
I have done a power bomb
Really?
on people in a Tower of Doom.
Really?
It was
Talaga?
funny.
Oh,
It was so cute.
Other girls or guys?
Guys.
Guys?
That's why it was so awesome. Like it was so epic for me. Cause like
Have you power bombed Trian de la Torre?
No.
Hi,
Pero I was
hi to Trian de la Torre,
I
by the way.
was Trian's first match in FIFA.
Yeah, oo nga
it was his
eh.
debut.
Tawang-tawa kasi Trian de la Torre, by the way, is my second guest ever. Oh, this show is nearing the first anniversary, by the way. In June 3 to be precise.
Oh, so
yeah.
close now.
Yeah, so
Isn't it the 21st? 20th?
right now it's 20th.
Ah.
20th na. Going 21st. Pero I think June 10, I checked kasi si Trian pala June 10, parang ganoon. So it's gonna be another milestone for this show. So yan. So anyway, what I wanted to ask din kanina is kasi since females or women are not, kumbaga there's only a few women, especially in the Philippine scene, although dadagdagan kasi on each promotion meron di ba? How does it are you medyo how was it, first of all, how is it fighting guys instead of women, would you rather wish there were a lot more women than there it is right now, and fight them instead?
Honestly, like fighting guys is so norm for me now.
Oh yeah,
No, because when I started out, for a year I was alone.
Oo nga
I was the only woman for a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
Tapos dun na dumating si Robin. But even though like Robin was around, I would still be fighting guys because I don't think people want to see me and Robin fight forever.
Oo nga.
So the storylines happened. She was part of a tag team. I was solo. I was doing my own thing. And then we would fight here and there, and then we would, actually, I betrayed her.
Betrayed her talaga.
Yeah, I hit her like I was out of action for 2 months. And then they were like, "We need backup." And then I hit them in the back, and then they lost. Then I turned bad guy.
Talaga? So you're heel now?
No, I'm face again.
Talaga? So how many times have you flipped?
Twice.
Twice? Okay. Can you actually yung mga
It's a
wrestling
pretty
terms,
weird subject. Pero kasi fine, I'll discuss this just because it's a podcast. A heel is basically a bad guy.
Yeah.
A face is a good guy.
Definition of terms.
Yeah. So, for example, ang heel back then was Batista.
Yeah.
The good guy, the face was Rey Mysterio.
Heel ba si... yeah.
Remember when they had that feud?
Really?
Yeah, they had that. Because they were like tag team and like they were buddies, and then,
First time that I've seen Batista, college ako noon, I think it was parang patapos na yung Attitude Era eh. Tapos he was with Randy Orton pa. Parang kampon sila ni
H.
Triple H yata or ni Vince. something like that.
Mhm.
And basta ano sila, parang the corporation. Sila yung hitmen ng The Corporation. Si was really a stud si Batista back then. Kasi ngayon medyo makikita mo medyo nag-age na eh. But back then parang wow, this is a
Yeah, even
it's
so,
an
he's
animal.
still buff.
Oo, 'di ba? Grabe.
Even though I can't see him all the time.
Why?
Because sometimes he stands too
Yeah.
still. Yeah.
Yeah. Oo nga pala.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
okay.
movie made me cry, man.
Ay,
I mean,
teka.
Endgame.
Ano pa ba yung mga 'di ba? So, but then for you to be able to fight women, is it more enjoyable for you when you go abroad kasi you get to fight other women? 'Di ba? Is it how does that compare?
No, kasi how to say? I've actually also wrestled men abroad, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, once. Yeah. But it's honestly an honor to represent the Philippines
Mhm.
whenever I'm wrestling abroad because it gives me the platform to be able to, showcase my company, our company PWR.
Mhm.
That's in Malaysia,
Mhm.
and it's honestly an honor because the wrestling scene isn't big, and it really takes someone. Oh, that was like a power. That was a choke slam.
That's just ang liit lang.
Yeah, I died in that.
Oh, really? I saw a move. I'm actually looking for the move where you're hanging in the second rope. Tapos the other girl was standing on the top rope and then
That happened
and then
last
stomped
weekend.
on you,
Yeah, that
diba?
happened last weekend. It's in there.
Oo nga eh. Parang I remember it's in the stories kasi. So that's why I went here.
Mm-hmm. Pero it's in there.
How many matches have you done so far? Have you done hundreds already? Parang it feels like that.
No. I think it's nearing 50.
Really?
Nearing 50.
Within...
But considering kasi PWR has monthly shows. So that's 11 per year.
Oh, was that you?
Which one?
Is that you?
Yeah, I was just in a shirt. In
Really?
Malaysia.
Okay. I thought it was another girl.
No,
Oo
it's
nga.
just my hair was straight.
Okay. Sabi, because she did that. So, I thought it wasn't you.
Yeah, but that's me.
Alright.
That's me with Krystal.
Mm-hmm.
That's another Malaysia one. That's my PW, Malaysian Pro Wrestling, Malaysia Pro Wrestling.
Awesome.
Just me doing stuff.
Grabe. Ang galing nung move na yun.
Actually,
Anyway.
marami pa siya. Actually, if you just forward it.
Talaga?
Nandun yung, nasa dulo kasi yung Oh, it's me. It's me. It's on a poster.
Oh, I always see this guy. Sino ba yan?
That's Andrew Tang. He is the
That's
co-founder
Andrew Chan.
of
Okay.
SPW, which is Singapore Pro Wrestling.
I see. Okay, parang he's a familiar face.
He's also been here in Philippines.
Oh, I think I had a video with him.
We invited him. Oh, that move was like one of my favorites.
Really? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What's that? Top rope jump?
It's a top rope Hurricane Rana, diving Hurricane Rana. Because like it took me a while to have the courage to do it. Because it's a big jump. Like when you're on the top rope, nakakalula.
How about jumping outside the ring?
Oh no, that's scary.
Have you done that?
Yes, I have. But
Talaga?
like with people like standing there ready to catch, but
What if they didn't? What if they don't catch you? Ano mangyayari sa kanya?
oh, I would die. I would be like dead.
Diba?
But that was me in India.
Okay.
I can't say anything about it because it's not showing yet. But yeah,
I
there's
see.
a tiny little thing production.
Whoa. How many countries have you been wrestling?
I've wrestled in 5.
5?
Mhm.
India, Malaysia, Singapore,
Thailand, Philippines.
Thailand, Philippines.
Yes.
Diba? Who would have known, no? That wrestling would take you to these places of all the things.
No, the thing was, before wrestling, before traveling out, I have never been out of the country.
Mhm.
So because of wrestling, I flew out to Singapore for the
Mhm.
first time ever, and that was my first time ever flying out ever.
Mhm.
I mean, flying out for another country,
Mhm.
because I made this stupid mistake when I was a kid that I promised myself that I would only
Oh, that one. Oh, boom. That you would only what?
I would only go out of the country when I finish touring the Philippines. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do it,
Mm-mm. Well,
but you know.
ano yun, life had another.
No, but then I have been to Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
Mm-mm. Great.
Not completed the islands. I mean, that would take me forever.
Wow naman.
Yeah,
7,000.
that's my shoutcasting stuff.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, ang ganda ng set nyo, ah.
And that's for Mobile Esports Arena.
Is it a professional, or?
It's the setup is in Bren Esports, Bren Pro Studios.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rules of Survival April. Yay.
I'm gonna.
That
I followed.
honestly, that tournament is so long.
Oh, that's you.
Yes.
Tournament. So did you participate?
No,
On
it's
oh, you're just
I just
commentating.
shout at people.
I don't get shoutcasting. What's the difference of a streamer and a shoutcaster?
A streamer is basically you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing while you're talking to people. It's basically more casual. A shoutcaster is only needed like whenever there's competitions or tournaments.
Basically parang announcer ka, ganun ba 'yon? Or no, not really.
More like, you know how in WWE may commentators?
Mm-mm.
Yun yung ginagawa na.
Okay.
So basically like, for example, rules of survival, right?
Mm-mm.
Say si Johnny yung player A, si I don't know, si Jane yung player 2.
Mm-mm.
Johnny knocks down Jane with the M14 EBR with a silencer and an 8-time scope.
Okay.
Tas blah, 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 blah.
Basically,
Ganon.
okay. Basically commentating.
You're basically saying what's happening and also like analyzing and telling people na parang what happened wrong in that.
But there's the thing about yun naman sa mga streamers. What would you anong comment mo to those people? Kasi naging are you
It's
familiar
such
with
a
the
boom.
Sandogang?
What is that?
Well, there's this there are streamers, female streamers that they would wear nakasando.
Tapos naka high up angle.
Oh my god.
Tapos lang parang pag nag-share and like they say like may I've seen
Nag-FS lang, di ba?
Screenshot, may
fan
parang
sign.
Fan sign.
Oh,
Tas,
di ba? Ganyan. Are you gonna do that too?
No. If I ever stream, I will do my best to show you actual gameplay. Like the game would be bigger than my face. No, because I have seen girl streams that medyo parang kalahati na ng stream yung actual.
Actually yung isang stream would be the girl would be ganyan, and the yung actual game would
like
be a little thumbnail.
This small like that.
Diba?
Oh no, that's so bad. I mean, if there's I don't want to say this, but if they're gonna do that, why don't they just stream on like
what?
maging cam girl na lang sila.
Cam girl, sobra na. Pero
pero kasi, like, you stream for the love of the game.
Mm-hmm. But then, there's this, actually, if you're familiar, merong mga, di ba, Twitch, di ba? Merong, recently, I don't know kung kailan nagsimula to, pero there was a time that, kasi, how do I start this? 'Di ba Twitch is a gaming platform, 'di ba?
Yes.
And when you usually ang demographic niyan, yung mga nanonood ng mga Twitch streams are men, 'di ba? Are guys, 'di ba? So ang thing is a lot of these guys or not, yung mga parang mga nerds and medyo mga socially awkward people.
Yeah.
Tapos hindi sila
So they're
magaling
just
with
looking for hot
girls.
girls
So,
who play video games.
so what they kumbaga they found, basically they found a haven in Twitch na parang okay kami dito, 'di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Tapos then the hot girls discovered Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
and then biglang uh, biglang parang all of a sudden ang daming nag-spring up na mga hot girls, and they're being the guys that they are, parang puntahan naman sila. Tapos ngayon yung mga streamers na guys parang ano ba yan? Doon na lang kayo sa Instagram.
Yeah. No, but the
Something
thing
like that.
is, I mean, there are like I do like there was this boom in Fortnite, and I loved like watching people play Fortnite. I hated playing Fortnite because
Okay.
I was bad at it. I was bad at building and shooting at the same time.
Mhm.
I can shoot,
Okay.
fine. This is why I play PUBG or Ross,
Mhm.
but I can't build. Remember one time I was trying to build the whole thing, and I was like, why am I getting shot at? I'm trying to build as fast as I can. Like,
Oh, ganun. I
And
haven't
ayun.
played Fortnite kasi.
Because I was using PS4, I believe.
Mhm.
I was like, I practiced, building the box,
Mhm.
and the stair, and then the box, and then the stair, and but it was so confusing. But basta, I like watching streamers.
Mhm.
So there are some girl streamers who are really pretty on Twitch who actually play better than some guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly up to the like. Okay, I will not be a hypocrite and say don't use sexy to your advantage, because that's what I do on the Instagrams.
Yeah, okay.
It because social media nowadays is as part of it's part of my job basically, because as a streamer, as a shoutcaster and a wrestler, you want to have more audience, so some people use their smarts and wits and make funny posts and stuff like that. Some people just use their athletic ability, like posting them tumbling around the ring, or like in whatever. I use bikini photos sometimes.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Totoo naman eh.
Yeah, but then if I ever do become a streamer, I want the game to be as big as this and my face as tiny as this.
Wag naman tiny.
No, I mean like yung face, like
Yeah.
if my like face cam ko, hindi ako ganito.
Okay.
Gusto ko yung face cam ko parang ganito lang. No, kasi I
Well,
mean,
basta at least.
if you're going there for a game, if you're going to my page for a game, I will show you the game.
What games do you play?
I play.
Right now.
I mostly play on mobile.
Mobile.
Yeah, I used to play on like PC, but then my PC broke. Also, that's why I can't stream yet because
ML?
PC.
No.
I don't. I mean, I played ML, Mobile Legends before. I play Vainglory. Actually, I play Vainglory. I used to be a beta tester for Heroes of Storm. I used to play Hearthstone. I've played Arena of Valor, Onmyoji Arena, Heroes Evolved. What else? I've played PUBG. I've played Rules of Survival. I've played many things.
Overwatch. That's the only game actually it's an old game na by gaming standards. 'Di ba? Pero
It's
that's
1
the
year
only
old.
that's the only game I played na pinaka recent.
Oh, kasi
I'm an FPS guy kasi.
I mean like Rules of Survival has FPS.
Oo nga.
Yeah. I wanted to play Overwatch because I was a big Blizzard fan. Because I used to play HOTS, which is Heroes of Storm, which is it's basically the MOBA, a multiplayer online battle arena
Okay.
for Blizzard. It's like basically their counter to Dota. They tried, and then it died sadly. But
Which game?
Heroes of Storm.
Okay.
What was fun about that is like you can play as characters from the Blizzard world.
Oh, talaga?
So I used to play Nova from StarCraft. I would play whatchamacallit. Nova was my main. So that's right now she's the only person I remember. But yeah, I would be able to play like the druids from Warcraft in like a setting. Tapos yung mga ultimates na was cute kasi like the things that you see in like lalo na nung I saw the Warcraft movie. It was like,
How'd you like it?
bitin. It was like a prequel.
Ang labo nun, no? Kasi yung mga lalaki na orcs, mukha talaga silang mga Hulk. Tapos yung mga babae, sexy pa din, di ba?
I mean, they had to do something to,
Ang weird
separate.
dun di ba? Well, at least make the females a little bigger din, di ba?
Like that.
Kumbaga, sexy pa din, pero at least parang parang minake-upan lang ng ibang kulay yung balat di ba? But then it's I think it flopped in the US pero it was really huge in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because Warcraft is really huge I mean, like, the Blizzard world is so huge in China.
Oo nga.
I think the only place that StarCraft is really big in Korea and China, I think still. More Asia.
Ay, may teka, mag-hi tayo sa mga friends. Teka, may question.
What is the
Question for Krystal. Out of curiosity, ano yung worst injury na nakuha mo performing in wrestling? From Abraham Cipriano Bravo.
It wasn't an injury in wrestling. It was an injury in training.
Okay.
I dislocated my shoulder.
Okay.
Someone landed like the heel of their foot dug into my shoulder blade like that. So like it went bam.
Do you have insurance for these?
No.
Oh, talaga doon?
We are not gonna say this to like the insurance people, but if I fell down the stairs, that's what I say.
Ganun?
Yeah, because it's basically sport. You can't really. It's not covered unless you know.
Talaga?
I mean, I have insurance.
No, I mean from the company.
Well, they cover like
Expenses?
emergency. Kunyari, for example, that one time, I think it was last year, Bolt from PWR, Mike Madrigal, it wasn't intentional, but Mike Madrigal hit Bolt with the belt, and sadly, it wasn't intentional at all, but a sharp part of the belt hit Bolt's forehead and it cut. So it wasn't intentional because like no one really wants to hurt anyone because we have to fight another month, like next month. So PWR, covered the emergency expenses. But other than that, like if it's serious like treatment and stuff like PT, we can't do anything about that. Or at least they cover half.
I see.
Because PWR started from nothing.
How big has it grown since?
Kasi
you think?
Honestly, I think it's pretty big because considering the fact that PWR started as a Facebook group.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talaga?
Yeah. Basically, it was
I didn't
like.
know. Kasi nga, how would you tell the history of PWR?
So PWR, before it was called PWR, it was a group of these guys, which is our originators. It included Bombay Suarez, Jake De Leon, Chris Panzer.
They're the pioneers.
Yeah, the pioneers, Mayhem Brannigan, etc., etc., etc. Back then, and then they were like, guys, why don't we just? I want to be a wrestler. Basically, like in that Facebook group, they would be cutting promos against each other, like it's being nerds.
You mean what do you call this? The parang mga skits nila.
Parang
diba? Nakakatawa yun
magkakat lang sila ng promo against each other. It was like, walang kwenta, blah, blah, blah. Ganun. It was just that. And then one day, someone asked, like, why don't we just make our own wrestling promotion? And then, apparently, they connected to Bombay, and then Bombay knew some, like, backyard wrestling, blah, blah, blah. So he had a bit of training. And then, they rented out a gym. They trained for the first time ever. And
who trained them? Who trained the
Bombay
pioneers?
Suarez.
Why? Bakit siya? What credentials did he have back then?
I don't know. He had backyard wrestling.
Backyard wrestling?
It basically, it's hard. Also, I mean, I think during the first couple of years, I think they had an American guy who used to who wrestled and like had like wrestling experience.
Mm-hmm.
He was living here for a while.
Okay.
So hot Filipino wife, that type. I don't know. I'm just making judgments right now.
Okay.
I feel bad, but I don't know. It's basically ganon. So there's this American guy who knew wrestling, stayed here for a bit, and
Mhm.
then they just got their training. Ever since then, we're here. Like slowly but surely. I mean, there was a hiccup on the road,
Mhm.
but slowly but surely we're progressing. We're getting bigger. Their first ever show was like a test show. There was like 20 people,
Mhm.
and then there
20. Doon pa
like,
sa MCS yun, di ba?
no. This was like in a tiny little gym.
Mm-mm.
Na parang wala lang, test show lang.
Ah, okay.
And just invite your friends and family.
Mm-mm.
Like, sinong gusto manood.
Okay.
And then after that, their first ever show in MCS, I think there was like, what, 50 to 150 people?
Mhm.
20 to 50 people.
Yeah.
And then the second show, that's when it started like getting more. And nowadays, we hit 300 or like 2 to 300 per month.
Mm-mm.
Which is honestly amazing because considering that we started from what, 20 people?
Mm-mm.
And then that's just on our like regular shows.
Were you there already?
No.
No?
I was still in training, I think.
Pero did you see the show? The first one?
I didn't see the first one.
Mhm.
I think I saw the second. Because I
Okay.
was already part of boot camp then.
Mhm.
But then I couldn't really enjoy it because I was selling merch.
Ay, ganun.
No. Kasi we call these this like paying dues. So
Yeah, I see.
So, before becoming a wrestler, everyone pays dues.
Mm-mm.
You help out backstage. You help out, cleaning the arena. You help out putting the chairs together.
Mm-mm.
You help out getting the ring ready. So, like during the show, like you see, we call them young boys.
Basically,
if you
parang ano ka, parang
backstage,
mm,
I mean,
parang
like
plebo sa ano.
like when you're pag theater, the people, the staff, the production.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
And then, yeah.
I
That's
see.
how we pay dues, pay respects. Because like everyone did it. I mean, I did it, and now
Mm-mm.
the younger girls are doing it.
How many girls are there right now?
Active sa roster?
Training and active and then training.
Active sa rosters, there's 4. It's Jay, Sarah, Jermaline, Krystal, and Robin.
Oh, ang dami na.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, to think na I was alone.
Oo nga
And
eh.
now I'm here with
2
them.
years later, I think.
Th-
2 or 3.
I don't remember. I debuted
Anyway.
February 2016. Ayun.
Okay, so around 3.
Yeah.
More or less.
I've been wrestling 3 years.
Wrestling. Mm-mm.
Training 5-ish, almost 5. Anyway,
Okay.
ayun. Tapos in training, I mean we have Nina. Nina she debuted before.
Ah, yeah. I read about
But
her.
then family stuff.
Mm-mm.
She's also a woman, so she's included in the list.
Mm-mm.
We have so there's I think nine
9
overall.
Wow.
9
Ang
women.
galing.
But then
The roster is more than 50 na ba? The entire roster?
30ish,
30-ish.
I
Well,
think.
so around 1/3 is women.
Not really.
More or less, mga ganun. Okay.
But it's still a lot more men than
Yeah.
than women. Which is, but at least hindi na ako nag-iisa, diba?
Pero
Kasi dati yung ratio is like 99-1.
Oo nga, di ba?
Kunyari ako yung natirang germ na hindi napatay nung alcohol or
Yung safeguard.
Nung safeguard. Kasi diba 99.9%. Ako yung nag-iisang germ na natira.
You're the baddest, you're the baddest bitch.
But yeah, I stuck around and we're here now. I'm happy to say there's at least 8 women who's going to be wrestling.
All inspired. I'm sure a lot of them are inspired by you.
No.
Of course.
No. I don't want to say that.
Well, of course, I understandably na you don't want to say that, pero I would think, 'di ba? Kasi ang corny ng tanong ko. Pero 'di ba, do you see young girls
there are some
watching?
No, there are some girls who message me on Facebook.
Talaga?
And honestly, it's the most like
See?
heartwarming thing.
See?
Like,
Diba?
why me?
Eh kasi you're ano you get yun eh, parang you're the one
Started.
who raised your hand na parang oy, this is possible. You can do that. You can do this, 'di ba? I did it. Parang and then ano mo yun, kinaya ko.
Yeah.
And now I'm here
It's
and the
just,
people see that you are having success.
it's honestly a lot of pressure, and like else, pressure creates crystals. Anyway,
What kinds of messages do you get from
merong times like, Ate Krystal, pangarap ko po maging wrestler.
Talaga?
Blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
What do you say to them?
and the most heartbreaking one that I recently got was, there's this girl who's, I think she has a, she's in a wheelchair.
Mm-mm.
I forgot the sickness that she had, but she's not physically fit to wrestle. But then she told me like, Ate Krystal, I have this, and then I see her profile photo and she's like in a wheelchair. Like, pangarap ko po maging wrestler. I'm trying really hard to, be able to walk.
Wow.
And I'm just like, it's so heavy.
Did you respond?
Yeah, I did.
What kind of response would you give to that girl?
I just told her to, don't give up. You can do it. In a more, nicer way, I guess. It's hard. Because it's a lot of pressure because, like, I'm just me. I'm not John Cena.
Well, when you're on that ring, you're someone else, and
I
you
know.
have power. You have, diba?
I know. And I try my hardest to showcase those girls na they say na parang, oh, I want to be a wrestler. I want to be this. I want to be that. You were my inspiration for being this and being that. I was like, I would always just say like, thank you so much for the support and the love. And I know that if you work hard enough in the future, when you do hit 18, that, maybe with hard work and dedication, you can also be a wrestler. I say more like nicer, more influencing, nice inspirational things, but they're just not in my mind right now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Pero as in, sobrang nakaka-touch. Kasi I never, like, joining into this, I never would have expected it. Like, I got into this because I said I was a girl. And now, like, younger girls are also, like, saying that I was their inspiration. When they hit 18, they're going to join PWR. And I'm just like, hopefully, I'm still here.
Was there something behind your head? Any kind of thought that you had when you included I'm a girl in your tag doon, yung video mo for that?
Kasi I noticed that, I think it was at the time that when I joined, it was at the time that women's wrestling was booming. You know how there's a difference now between women's wrestling now and then back then.
You mean
Yung
in
women's-
WWE?
Yeah, the women's
na-
revolution.
Dati kasi diva pa yung tawag,
Yeah,
ngayon
now
hindi na,
superstars.
they dropped the diva
Yeah, they're
branding.
now superstars.
Mm.
So it was at the boom of the revolution. I think it was when Paige started wrestling in
Oh.
WWE, because like Paige was really different. She was like
Really?
she was light skinned.
Mm-mm.
She was all rock and roll, because like at the time all the women's wrestlers were basically like tan, blonde, all that.
Yeah.
Big boobs, and Paige was different. She was like,
She's very, very beautiful.
yeah, she's beautiful, but she was different as well, because like she had she had sure she had light skin, and then she was just herself. And that's when I was like, if I join, I think I can pull being me off, because I didn't need to fit into, Kasi here in the Philippines, like, the whiter you are, the prettier you are.
Mm.
You know how we have
Well,
a
yeah.
lot of
Well, there's that.
whitening products. Yeah.
There's still
There's
that.
this
No.
stigma of like,
Mm-mm.
oh, the lighter you are, the prettier you are. And then I'm just like, you know, I'm just gonna be myself. I'm a morena,
Oo nga.
blah blah blah. And I just embraced it, and I was like, hire me because I'm a girl.
Well, I think ano
Mm-hmm.
um I think that's one thing that could work on your on your advantage.
Yeah, I
'Di ba?
mean,
In the future when when you get scouted,
eh,
ay, 'di ba?
huwag kayong ganyan.
Ano ka ba? Dapat inaano mo 'yun every day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk you into I'm sure you do that.
Are
Hindi
you
mo
going
lang
to be
siya,
my like mini hype man?
I could. Sure, why not? Ano mo, pero 'di ba if you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
uh 'di ba parang you need to activate the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
You need to parang uh visualize it, visualize and
I will try to do that. Also, one of my friends told me like, Vernice, law of attraction. But then
Yeah.
just it's
you know this show, I was just daydreaming about doing this
mm-hmm.
and having some of my because I've had guests here that
Mm-hmm.
never in a million years would I think that I would alam mo yun, be able to invite and have them come
Mm-hmm.
over, 'di ba? You've seen naman, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Including you. Kasi, di ba, now, di ba, parang hindi naman tayo magkakilala prior to
Yeah.
this, di ba? And now
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to you like we've known each other for a while, di ba?
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I'm just trying to find. I'm now bothered of what I said
what?
to the girl.
Ganun. So,
Yeah, yeah. I'm just checking. I'm sorry.
no problem.
Yeah. It was.
Sige, sige.
It's just honestly mind-boggling, cause like 6 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I never would have thought that I'd be in this place. That
Yeah.
I'd be traveling Asia
Mm-hmm.
for wrestling. I would be traveling Asia for kind of for free ish. Not really. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I get free flights for wrestling, and I never would have thought that I'd be in this situation right now. Like back then, I was just this girl who was trying to find herself in college, trying to drink her heart out because she was still kind of a teenager.
What does your mom say right now? Kasi she used to, alam mo yun, di
Yeah,
ba,
she knew
hide,
yeah.
and, alam mo yun, hide her.
Honestly, my mom, like earlier this year in January, I was facing Ken Warren in Mata Expo.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she was going to watch
Mm-hmm.
because she always said na I don't want to watch anak because I feel like if I see you get hurt in there, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Talaga?
So I never invited her
Mm-mm.
because like if she wanted to go, she would go on her own terms.
Mm-mm.
So ayun. And then kasi she dropped me off at the venue and she was like just hanging around, and she was like she decided apparently that she's gonna watch me that day.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know. Pero, I was doing my thing. I was giving it my all. I was trying
Mhm.
my 100 every time I'm
Mhm.
wrestling. So, ayun. And then, she came up to me and like, oh my God, Ma, you saw my match. And like, she told me, anak, nakaka-proud. Makita ka. Na nandun. Kasi, I used to also have anorexia and / bulimia
Talaga?
back then. And then I was really thin. I think my thinness was I was 85 pounds.
Really?
I'm 100 now. If you think I'm
Mhm.
thin now,
Well, not so much, but yeah.
but ayun. So parang she was there throughout the depression and all the stuff that happened.
Bulimia? Did you get treatment? You're the first person that I learned or I know of that.
It's
had
not more. It's more so I had to think. It's mindset for me. Kasi there are people who need it. I did go to a
Mhm.
psychiatrist.
that. Is it a mental
It's
problem
a mental
or
thing.
really? It's not in the
No.
the whatever.
Kasi anorexia is not wanting to eat.
Mm-mm. Not one. I see.
Anorexia. Pero bulimia is you eat and then you feel bad about it and then you purge.
So it's not ano pala, it's not parang yung
I don't.
parang reply ng body mo na you can't control.
I mean, people can say na they can control it, but it for me, yeah, at
Are you
least.
comfortable talking
Yeah,
about
it's
this?
fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's for me. It was just really mindset because like once I got over, because like back then I felt like I was the ugliest girl ever.
Really.
Anyway, that's what those were my issues.
Mm-mm.
So I felt like I had to be thin. I had to be whiter. I mean, nagpapapayas soap ako dati.
Talaga?
Yeah, because I didn't feel comfortable in my skin. But then nowadays I'm just like, I'll go to the beach.
Talaga. Oo
Yeah,
nga.
yeah. And then yun.
How was it? How long have you had suffered from those
I don't exactly remember anymore.
mm-mm.
I don't want to dwell on it na kasi.
I see.
I mean,
That's good.
I'm open about talking about it because
Mm-mm.
if I got over it and if ever I can help anyone out there,
Yeah.
I will. Like if I will talk about it. Pero if I think about it, I mean if I'm just like alone, I don't want to dwell on it because there's really no point for me to dwell on it because I got over it.
Yeah, it's in the past
Yeah.
already.
I mean, I want to keep moving forward.
Mm-mm.
Ayun.
All right.
All
well,
right.
well, actually, because these topics, one of the reasons that
Mhm.
why I started this podcast is to get insights from things that you don't normally
Mhm.
hear or watch on,
Mm.
especially here in the Philippines, on even in the internet,
Mhm.
especially coming from Filipinos.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Kasi you can easily research about mental problems on
Alam mo yung pag
YouTube,
yung
pero
kunyari,
it doesn't come from
yeah.
Filipinos eh.
Pag kunyari kasi, like, I'm just gonna be frank about this. Filipinos are very mapang-asar.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, sabihin, oh, ang tangkad mo. Ba't hindi ka nagbabasketball? Diba?
Well, guilty. Yeah, guilty.
No, pero like, you know how family. Like,
Mm-mm.
oh, ang taba-taba mo na. Ang taba-taba mo na.
Mm.
Hindi ka kasi nagbabasketball. You know how those, like, you have relatives that would say, like, ang taba-taba mo na. Oh, ang itim-itim mo na. Like, it's just, sometimes it gets to you, you know?
Well, I have this friend back then kasi he was a bit taller. Sabi ko, inaano ko siya parang, ba't di ka nagbabasketball? Kasi nagbabasketball kami, syempre, barkada, di ba?
Kasi matangkad ka.
So nakatangkad-tangkad mo, sayang naman ang height mo. Tapos naiinis pala siya pag tuwing sasabihin niya yun. Tuwing sasabihan ko siya, oy, ito pala.
That's okay. I'll have water.
tuwing sasabihan ko siya, parang naiinis pala siya. Until he finally
Says something about
said na, yun nga, hindi siya, kumbaga, parang sininghalan niya ako. And then I realized that it pisses him off whenever I say those things to him. So I didn't say it anymore.
No, because
Kakain din ako.
sige lang. With family kasi, like we have a lot. There's a lot of kasi you know the Philippines is a melting pot.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, because like we were conquered by Spanish, Americans,
Mm-mm.
blah blah blah. So yung imprint sa atin na dapat mas maputi ka para mas maganda ka.
Mm-mm.
I think it came from the Spanish
Oh,
or like the Americans.
Pwede. I wouldn't be so...
Kasi like the whiter
sure.
you are, the richer you are.
Yeah.
Spanish times, di ba? Kasi
Mestiza, because mga mestisas, mga... Yeah,
so I
that
think
makes sense.
it still carries out today na parang mas maputi ka, mas fresh yung skin mo, mas may laman ka, blah 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 blah. It really isn't.
If you
the
can
case.
afford to take care of your
Yeah.
skin.
Ganun yung stigma. Tapos parang it's sad because stigma yun dati pa eh. Tapos it just passed on to generation now na parang lalo na I had kasi I think a part of my family was like Spanish I think or something like that because they're Santiago.
Okay.
May Santiago side kami. So
Okay.
there were more lighter skinned people. And I was always kasi I also had like when I was a kid, when I was 6 years old to like 12, I had like 6 years of swimming lessons.
Mm-hmm.
I went like competitive, that intense.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would be always in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So like I would be, sunburned. I would have brown skin. I would have like those ugly marks na sobrang kita mo yung difference. Kasi as in yung may swoop ako.
I wouldn't call those ugly.
No, pero kasi it's so ugly kasi like I only had one bikini when I was like per year,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yung ugly part niya kasi like if I go to the beach now,
Mm-hmm.
I have different bikinis.
Mm-hmm.
So like wala yung nag-iisang mark lang.
Okay.
So parang na-equalize ko pa. Tapos pag nag-swim ako, ino-offset ko siya para hindi magkaroon ng yung parang white strip of skin.
Mm-hmm.
Pero nung bata ako, as in lapak yung swimsuit. So may isa akong bikini na parang may circle sa likuran. Tapos meron isang like yung katawan ko is like, brown, pero may circle na mas brown. So that's why it was so ugly.
Pero hindi naman makikita 'yon, 'di ba?
No, pero kunyari, kasi I think nandito sa upper back ko.
I see. Okay.
So, pag kunyari nakasando ako,
Ba't kasi
kitang-kita.
yun ang binili mo?
Hindi, ako yung bumili. Okay? 7
Okay.
ako noon. Nanay ko yun.
7. Okay.
Pero yun.
Okay.
Ayun, it was just funny because like, back then, your titos, your titas, your lolos, your lolas, I'd be like, itim-itim na ng apo ko. Trixie! May mom, Trixie, ano ginagawa mo? Pinapaitim mo yung apo ko. Pangit-pangit tuloy.
Pangit.
Like,
Actually, okay lang maitim pero to equate that
no,
as
pero kasi
pangit.
yun yung, that's how it used to be eh.
Oh.
I mean, generations, they don't change. Anyway, so parang, it, you get bullied.
Mm-mm.
Kasi ganun yung family. Tapos yung mga classmates mo, sasabihin, Ita,
Oh.
Aita.
Talaga?
Kasi
You're not that, You're
no,
not
because
that...
back then, like, we lived in Zambales.
okay.
May mga Aita. So parang, the mean kids, because I was darker skinned, like the mean kids would say, Ita, blah,
Really?
blah, blah, blah.
Ang ano naman
Negro. But I got bullied because I was kind of an overachiever when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I would always be most active in extracurriculars. I won a photojournalism contest when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah. I won a I won a regional illustration for Tourism Day as a kid.
So you draw?
Used to draw.
Oh,
I
wow.
used to do a lot of things.
Wow. Awesome. That's awesome.
And then I was part of choir. I was part of theater. Tapos I was always top 3 in my class when I was in grade school. I also skipped a grade. Basically, I was an overachiever.
Mm-hmm.
So I got really, 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 really bullied until until before college.
Okay.
So like, yun, sad life. And tapos alam mo yung parang...
So that affected you? That's why it affected your depression eventually?
Yeah, it did. Because like, a lot of things, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Ayun. So, that's why I was so thankful for wrestling because that's when I realized that I can be me. Like, that's why I'm so thankful for wrestling because I slowly, throughout the years, I found who I was. Like, me trying to find who Krystal was helped me finding who Vernice actually is.
Wow.
Yeah. Because Krystal, like, heel Krystal is like a kind of times 50 of me.
So basically, when you switch from face to heel, you discover new things about yourself.
Yeah, because like you try to differentiate your wrestling character. Because you don't want to be the same person.
Oo nga.
Kasi parang what's the difference?
Yeah.
Like what makes it special? Kasi whenever people get to know me, like who I am, like they realize I'm such a big dork, dweeb, I'm nerd. Because like I watch a lot of anime, I play a lot of video games, I build Gundam sometimes.
Talaga?
Yeah, I used to. I know way too much Pokemon,
okay.
etc. I did that, and like I'm neck deep in Marvel. Like I'm that nerdy.
We can go Marvel later.
Yeah. And then like in comparison to who Krystal is, na badass female, kicks around guys, blah 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 blah. Parang compare like who me and Krystal are.
When you
parang-
watch yourself, what do you feel when you what goes through your head when you watch
Sometimes I
yourself?
say, damn,
What talaga?
I did that.
Talaga?
Sometimes. No, because meron ako, I find this weird, but I have this switch.
Mm-mm.
Like once everything is on,
Mm-mm.
like the sports bra is on, the hair is up,
Mm-mm.
the makeup's on, the body glitters on, the boots are all laced up, and I
Mm-mm.
walk through that curtain.
Mm-mm.
I'm not me anymore.
So that's when the switch flips.
That's when.
Uh,
So parang, oh, okay, girl.
okay.
That's parang minsan, like,
So the walkout is the point.
that's a hype
Parang
up for
ganun.
me.
Okay.
Yung walk out, like walk around there yung hype up.
Mm.
Tapos pag
When you do the
when I do the crown thing, that's like full transformation na. Parang, wala na si
diba?
Vernice.
Diba?
Ayun. That was, it's funny kasi, sometimes I do things in the ring that I never expected I would ever do.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I like, swing my hips, like I think you saw in the entrance video.
Oh,
I swing
yeah.
my hips and then do the pose thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just, ayun, it's just funny. Because like nowadays, actually,
Is it something that you wouldn't imagine doing when you were in high school? Parang
No.
gano'n. So, parang, you had no idea that was in store in your future.
No. Because in my future, I thought I was just gonna finish college. But in the future, I never finished college.
Oo nga eh. Well, same here. Pero that's the funny thing about about when you find something that could when you find a path that you can be happy and you can be that you think is worth pursuing. Parang okay, everything yung kasi I didn't finish college. My mom, that is one of her biggest regrets is to not being able to make me finish college. So she up until now sometimes not anymore pala until a few years ago sinasabihan niya tuloy mo na yung college mo. Sabi ko, hindi ko na kailangan, 'di ba? Hindi ko na kailangan para ano, 'di ba? And then ayun, okay naman sa kanya. Pero for me kasi parang bakit pa, 'di ba? But I already have I kind of figured out already what
No, kasi also like it's also part of the stigma, I think. Na parang pag nakapagtapos ka ng college,
yeah,
matalino ka.
exactly.
Pag nakapagtapos ka ng college, may future ka na.
Oo nga, or kailangan magtatrabaho ka, 'di ba? Hindi ka makakapagtrabaho. Hindi ka
Pag wala
makahanap
kang-
ng magandang trabaho pag hindi ka
Hindi ka makakapag-provide sa pamilya mo kung hindi ka nagtapos ng kolehiyo kasi hindi ka
Yan.
makahanap ng trabaho.
trabaho na stable ko, 'di ba?
Ayun. Yun yung dati na parang,
Mm.
pero like nowadays, it's just like, it's do you. Like, you you need to just do yourself.
Mm-mm.
Kasi sometimes, there's also internet. Internet is a big thing for our generation.
Mm-mm.
Kasi parang, dati wala sila nito. Tapos
Yeah.
now, you can just, if you know good English, you can basically be a teacher online.
Yeah.
You can get money for that.
Oo nga.
Kahit hindi ka nagtapos ng college.
Mm.
And then, there's like, other revenues of stuff, like, streaming.
Yeah, here.
You know.
We're
Yeah.
basically on a TV station, 'di ba?
In your own house.
'Di ba? 'Di ba? And then
But you don't need a college degree for that.
yeah. Just some konting bulati lang sa utak, 'di ba? And then we're here. And I mean, you can do a lot of things, especially in the creative industry. I think one of the biggest nakinabang ng internet is creative industry.
Yeah.
Like myself, as an artist, 'di ba? All of a sudden, I don't need to go to the US.
Or you don't need to advertise on billboards anymore or something
Yeah.
like that. Just need Instagram.
Oo nga. Exactly. Cheers.
I'm sorry.
Sige,
Cheers.
sige. Cheers tayo. And for overcoming demons.
Yeah.
Ah.
Utang, I can't drink this yet. This whole podcast, this whole thing is just me with food in my mouth.
Okay lang. That's how we roll here. Teka, di pa rin ako. Teka,
This is half a mukbang kasi.
A what?
Mukbang?
What's mukbang?
It's
I
basically
hear that a lot.
It's basically a stream or a video or vlog of
Okay.
someone eating and telling
that
stories at the same time.
Yeah.
Kampai.
Teka, hindi nakuha. Ulit. Ulit. Hindi nakuha. Diyan.
Kampai. Kampai means cheers in Japanese.
What? Trees?
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, kala ko. I thought it was cheers. Tapos biglang naging trees. Sorry. Anyway. Oy, may tanong si ano pala.
Sino?
Si
Sino
si
siya?
Johnny, one of our friends,
Yes.
one of our
Regulars?
regular followers.
Hello, Johnny.
Kayo na pa siya hey, Johnny Pagdanganan, kayo na pa siya nagla-like. Question, ano po ang worst fear mo in doing wrestling?
A career-ending injury.
Yun talaga, no? Syempre. So,
No, because you work so hard
Mm-mm.
to get to this point. Like you kasi basically that's why people are so offended when you say wrestling is fake.
I see.
That's why wrestlers are so offended when you say it's fake because
Yeah.
like the pain we feel
Mm-mm.
like we get when we get slammed
Mm-mm.
or when we get kicked in the face. Because as much as we try not to,
Mm-mm.
it still sometimes graces. Like sometimes I have had lockjaw.
Wow.
Yeah. Meron one time, I was in India. Someone slapped me.
Mm-mm.
Because you can't really fake that, you know?
Yeah, oo nga.
So someone slapped me. My jaw went like that.
Wow, talaga?
And then, I was on the floor. I was doing this. I was trying to readjust my jaw.
Oh my God.
In the match
It
itself.
dislocated?
No, it's like, it's just, you know how you have lock? Like,
I
did you
see.
hear?
Wow, oo nga, no?
Did you hear?
Yeah,
So basically, that's what happened. It locked.
wow.
And then yun. Parang, as much as we don't, as much as we try not to,
Kaya ko ba yun? Ang galing nga. I can't do it.
it's a weird thing. Ayun. Tapos parang, you train so hard every week. You work out at the gym to look good. Kasi it's also part of the sports entertainment side. Ayun. Tapos, kasi diba, sports is the athletic stuff, you know, the in-ring stuff. But the entertainment is like the glamour, all the theatrics and stuff like that. So, you invest so much money in this. You invest so much time, training, blood, sweat, and tears. The worst thing that could happen is one wrong, bagsak in that ring, one wrong bump in that ring, you end things for your career.
How did you feel when you saw what happened to Paige? Diba? When she had the injuries.
Yeah,
Diba?
that's so sad because like it was. She's what? She's 20.
She was returning, diba?
She
had
returned and then she had a stinger. A stinger is
What's a
when
stinger?
you can't feel a part of your body. It means it's something's.
But she was drop kicked from behind yata, diba?
No,
And
pero
then
I saw an interview. She doesn't blame anyone because she called that move. She was like, drop kick me in the back. It was her body reacting that
Yeah.
way. It wasn't really anyone's fault. It wasn't Paige's fault. It wasn't Sasha's fault. It was just Paige's body not being to, withhold the pain.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's part of the
Yeah. It's so sad because like Paige was getting back. I
Oo
mean,
nga diba?
considering how young she is, she's I think
Have-
like 26 or 27 or 25. I don't remember, but she's young because she won the Divas Championship. She was 21.
Have you seen her movie?
Not yet.
Not yet,
I
diba?
want to see it.
Oo nga, no.
No, because like I never saw it open in cinemas here.
Oo nga, yeah. Oo nga, I was
Diba?
Hindi ko, what's the title again of that movie?
Fighting with my family. Because like
okay.
I was looking at it. I was nag-aabang ako sa, cinemas. But then it never parang hindi
Never
siya
showed.
never showed. Tapos parang nakita nag-show siya sa Malaysia. It's like,
Maybe it's not a thing here, parang kasi
Maybe
the
it's not
cinema
big
owners
enough, yeah.
didn't think it is
it was good enough
na,
to
or parang may
gather
manonood.
enough, yeah.
Parang weird lang.
Yeah, but it has the Rock.
Who started it? Yeah. I forget. Anyway.
They're new people.
Well, there's always, I'm gonna download it. Is it in Netflix kaya?
I don't know.
Pero it was devastating, no? And to think aside from the yung mga nangyari, tapos nagkaroon pa siya ng scandal, di ba?
Yeah,
Di
ang
ba?
dami nangyari sa kanya.
Oo, tapos kumbaga sunod-sunod.
Yeah.
Tapos now that she's finally parang ano
Getting
yun,
back into it, biglang mawawala agad.
tapos biglang ang bilis, no?
Yeah.
A few months pa lang, wala pang
That's
isang year.
really the ultimate. Honestly, I don't think it's just any wrestler. I don't think it's just wrestlers.
Mm-mm.
I think it's athletes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Athletes
because-
naman talaga.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Because, you don't want a career-ending injury for something that you've trained for years and years and years.
Like you just came from training, di ba?
Yeah, I went to the gym today.
Yeah, di ba?
Yeah, I worked out my arms. I can't feel them right now.
Really?
No, because
Up until now,
I did
diba?
that. I did that. I did curls. I did tricep. I did rows. I did.
Have you ever thought about being those Instagram fitness inspirations?
Well, no.
Why?
I mean, masarap kumain. Like I'm honestly, I am on a diet. I'm on all protein, no carb diet. It's sad, but
Keto? Are you
No,
keto?
I'm not on keto.
Okay.
It's just honestly like stress.
Oh, okay.
Like sometimes whenever I see like people eating pizza,
Mm-mm.
like I'm walking through the mall, right?
Mhm.
I need to buy something for work or something in life. And then whenever like I pass by like I don't know SNR, when I
Mhm.
see someone eating like a full piece of pizza, and I'm just like, I haven't had pizza in
3 months?
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pero yun, parang nasistress ako. Tapos
Bakit ka na-stress?
kasi gusto ko din kumain nun.
Are they is it included is pizza not included in your
May
ano?
carbs eh.
Ganun.
Something like that.
What do you call this diet?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so yun, like yesterday,
Mm-mm.
the other day in Singapore, I had my first chip.
Chip.
My-
Wow, chip.
No, I had my first I think it was Ruffles.
Mm-mm.
I had my first chip in 2 months.
Really?
No, like the last chip I had was like December.
What kind of chip?
It was Ruffles.
Ruffles.
I was like,
Did you get another one? At least you get 2 chips?
I did.
No?
I did.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Did you finish an entire bag?
No. I pushed it away. It's like, it's too much calories in that.
What?
It's too much fat.
Have you ever these
No,
these
but the
one?
thing is, like,
Oo.
I am going to burn that tomorrow.
Mm-mm. These anong tawag dito?
Empanadas?
Empanada. These are vegan. Oh.
It tastes nice.
Diba? Sarap, diba?
Mm.
You wouldn't be able to tell.
No, but then I think the vegetables inside, it's fine.
Mm-mm.
I can eat it. It's just the friedness of it.
Mm-mm.
That's what's gonna kill me in the gym tomorrow. Because tomorrow I'm going to do legs.
Maybe you're just overthinking it. You look fine.
No,
You
but
could
I don't. I feel okay. I lack cuts.
cuts.
Cuts, like have you seen Sasha Banks's body?
Yeah,
Or,
I
like,
know.
Like women wrestlers in WWE. Like I compare.
But to
I do
build
not compare.
but to build muscle you need to eat.
I mean, I eat the right things.
Mm.
I eat more protein, so I get leaner. If you eat like food with fat,
Mm-mm.
you'll also get the fat.
Uh,
Like say, you're eating an all-meat pizza. Sure, may meat.
pero
But there's
may-
also dough
Oo.
and the carbs.
Mm-mm. Of course,
So,
of course.
You like the lean parts, like, it will go to your muscle, but then also the bad parts will also go to your fat.
Do you have a nutritionist?
Yeah.
Talaga?
Actually, no. I was talking to my friend. I was talking to one of my friends from Instagram. He's also a wrestler from Singapore. He's
Mhm.
actually like he won a national championship of like bodybuilding in Singapore. Anyway, so I asked him for tips. So basically, he's like showing me all of these things. Like, oh, hey, did you know that 100 grams of chicken only has like this amount of protein? Blah 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 blah.
Mm-mm.
And I was like, it's overwhelming.
Mm-mm.
Sabi niya, I can have, like, okay, I'm going to be switching diets soon
Mm-mm.
after my Palawan trip. After the show, actually, because it's gonna be, I mean, after the show, I'm gonna want to eat because I feel like I deserve it. Anyways, so, after the show, I will start a new diet. I can have carbs now,
Mm-hmm.
but healthy carbs. It's like,
Okay.
I can't have white rice,
White rice. Brown rice.
brown rice.
Brown rice. I like...
I can
Actually, mas
have-
gusto ko na yung brown rice
I
ngayon.
can have, like, I can have pasta, pero dapat yung
Whole wheat.
yeah, whole wheat and stuff like that.
Mm.
And I'm just like, this is gonna be so hassle to eat out.
Well, punta ka dun sa Good Food Sundays in Mandala Park and Shaw. That's where you can buy mga ganun.
But the thing is, like, when you're eating out, like, for example, I'm eating out with my boyfriend or something like that. Like, gusto niya, he's gonna wanna have, like, Army Navy.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, well, sure.
Well, you can eat the patty. You can have the other bread.
Or, like, I can have a taco.
You can have the buns.
I can have a taco.
Quesadillas.
Yeah, but then the thing is, I have gastritis.
What's that?
Gastritis.
Oh, nga, you told me about that
Yeah.
earlier. So what's that?
Gastritis is the thinning of the inner lining of the stomach.
Ah, yeah, I see.
So
I see.
basically, you have severe, like, it's severe hyperacidity.
Okay.
Like, you know how you feel hyperacidity?
Mm-mm.
Like, sometimes when you drink when you have an empty stomach, tapos feeling mo ang hapdi ng tiyan mo.
Mm-mm.
Because you want to either puke or poo.
Mm-mm.
Yan. I've had 4 years. I've had gastritis for 4 years now.
Mm-mm.
Basically, for gastritis, back then when I started out, because nowadays I have gotten better at it. So I wasn't allowed oily food, spicy food, dairy products. I wasn't allowed fruit juices. I wasn't allowed alcohol.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't allowed chocolate, tea, coffee.
Okay.
Anything citrus also, because anything that would make your stomach, because for gastritis with severe with hyperacidity, like if you eat anything that would make your stomach, because your stomach naturally produces acid
Mm-mm.
to break down the food.
Yeah.
Basically, mine just makes
A lot
a
more.
lot more. That it,
Mm-mm.
if I eat, like, because when you eat dairy, for example, when you eat cheese or ice cream or anything dairy related,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen is, because you know how in high school they taught you about acids and bases. Basically, those are bases.
Mm-mm.
So your stomach is going to want to produce more acid.
Maybe you need to do elimination diet
No, I mean, like,
or go vegan. Actually, we're not vegan, pero I've known a lot of vegans.
No, pero the gastritis is getting better.
Mm-mm.
I can eat ice cream now,
Wow.
but not in stupid amounts.
Mm-mm.
Like-
Of course.
Like, everything in moderation now.
Mm-mm.
Because I think also, like, maybe when I was, in my drinking days.
Where there's vegan ice cream if you're not fond with the dairy, diba?
Yeah, but ice cream. I mean, I have a tattoo of ice cream right here.
Really?
Right here.
Oh, ano?
I also have a tattoo of a wrestling ring.
Wow. What else are you planning to put on?
I have a lot, actually. It's just, I want...
Oops, pakita natin. Sorry.
I don't know what else I want. No, because, like all the ones that I've planned when I was, like, younger, or, like, whenever I have something that I want,
Mm-mm.
I would put it there. Because, like, this arm is, like, a collection of things that symbolize who I kind of am. So, like, I mean, here, I have a crystal.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Like, here, right there. Kita ba?
Ito.
And-
Dito
And crystal.
Crystal.
Crystal, it's actually a diamond.
What's this one? A pistol.
Yeah,
Okay,
a
okay.
pistol. I have a pistol, a dagger, and a grenade. Well, it's actually, I just sketched this one out when I was, like, in college.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a hard grenade. But basically, I have a dagger, a grenade, and a pistol. It kind of symbolizes how I have all the weapons I need to fight. Because,
Okay.
I went through a lot
Mm-hmm.
when got bullied, depression, eating disorders, etc. Like among other things.
Well, the audience is saying you look fine just as you are. So.
Ay, thank you so much.
Um,
Ayun. So parang being happier with who I am, like I have all the weapons I need to fight in life now. So that's like a lot of
That's great.
yeah. Also like a yin yang cat because
Yun yung cat. Oh, that's cute. Oh,
also
ano?
I like cats.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Ang ganda.
Like nowadays I'm just running out of things.
Who designed that?
Internet.
Internet?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
No, I mean I think I saw it on like a Pinterest.
Mm-mm.
And I was like, I know it's so generic and like but it's so cute. Ayun, tapos this one is like, I think if people know the anime, this one is a scissor blade. It is it's the weapon of my favorite anime character.
Which one? Ayun, di kaya. Okay.
Basically, it's Ryuko Matoy from Kill la Kill. It's her weapon. So
Okay.
like, I was that big of a dweeb that I put my favorite anime character's weapon on my body. As a
I'm
tattoo.
sure you're not the only one.
I know I'm not the only one, but you know, it's not common.
Yeah.
Ayun.
Ano pa ba? If I'm, hindi pa ako I haven't gotten around to getting a tattoo. Kasi gusto ko malalaking tattoos eh. So, and parang I haven't seen, since I'm an artist myself, parang, parang baka pangit yung gawin. So, yung medyo grand yung mga naisip kong designs eh. Pero,
Honestly,
I'll
that
get
would
there.
look awesome as a tattoo.
Ah, yeah. Actually, that's one of the,
Pero that would be so painful.
yeah.
There's so many lines on that.
The bakunawa. Well, it can be, you can parang liliitan mo siya, tapos mawawala.
Simplify. But,
And I'm gonna design a new post for that. But if you wanna get that, I'll send you a file.
no, I'm good. I feel like that would be too big for my body.
Well,
Like, I mean, I think this is bigger than my leg.
or ano,
It probably is bigger than my leg.
pwede namang mas maliit.
Yeah, but
Mm-mm.
it wouldn't be as nice because there wouldn't, like, you wouldn't see the artistry and the detail that you put into it.
Yeah. Maybe are you planning to get a dragon tattoo or?
Actually, I want to.
Mhm.
It's just that I don't know if it's gonna fit my arm.
So all your tattoos are on that arm?
Kasi ganito yung ginawa namin ng nanay ko.
Okay.
So, actually, my mom was the reason I got my first tattoo.
Okay.
We were walking through the mall, and she was like, anak, alam mo, pangarap ko magka-tattoo. Pero natatakot ako. Tapos sabi ko, when I was 18, right?
Mm-mm.
I was like, alam mo, pangarap ko din magka-tattoo. Tapos like, biglang, we were walking in like Alabang Town Center.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And then there's this tattoo shop right next to us.
Mm-mm.
And then my mom was like, anak ko, patattoo ka.
Ikaw pa yung sinalang na una. Tapos,
So that's what happened. I got that tattoo. Which is the crystal.
So that's the first one.
Yeah, the diamond.
So
I mean,
this is before your crystal persona.
yeah.
Diba?
No, because
So
the
it's
diamond / crystal, I'm a diamond birthstone.
Oh, April.
Yes.
April.
And also,
Same. Parehas tayo.
yeah. And also because my name is Vernice Krystal.
Ah.
Krystal is actually my name.
Ooh,
So like
yun pala yun.
it's not that weird whenever people call me by my ring name. Like, hey, Krystal. It's like, what's up?
Okay. I see. So, yun pala.
It's my actual name. Yeah, what's up?
Talaga.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah. Cool thing.
Yun pala.
Yeah.
So, but then, did your mom get her own tattoo
No.
eventually? Ba
No.
madaya?
No, like, until now, she hasn't had the tattoo. Tapos ako, ma!
Hey mom, madaya ka.
Yeah.
Magpatattoo ka na rin. Anong what tattoo would you you recommend for your mom?
Alam ko na yung gusto niya eh. And
Ano?
she's like telling me to design it. And like, it's just the thing is, ang dami niyang gustong gawin doon sa isang tattoo na yun. Gusto niya parang yung infinity
symbol?
Hindi. Parang gusto niya heart. Pero yung kalahati ng heart, it's shaped as a V
Okay.
that symbolizes Vernice.
Okay.
Tapos yung kabila ng heart, magsa-stop pero may paw na mangyayari. Tapos it goes into a heart. Pero dapat mukha pa rin siyang heart.
At po ng ano?
Po ng pusa.
Pusa.
Oo.
So cat lover ang mama.
Yeah, well, because we have 2 cats.
Okay.
I mean, I love dogs as well. I had dogs when I was growing up. It's just that our house in Manila, also my family, we travel a lot. My mom travels for work, I travel for work. It's not gonna be possible for us to properly take care of a dog. Because you know how you have to...
I see.
A dog, you have to walk, feed on time. But then you cats, if you feed them, they're good. They go potty, they go out. They do their thing. I mean, like, you can leave cats alone and they can just...
Wala nga sila pakialam sa'yo eh.
Yeah.
Diba?
Or it's like, sometimes when they're hungry, for some reason, they find something to eat.
Oo nga.
Unlike dogs na... I mean, I love dogs, but you have to... They're more...
Yeah.
labor-intensive.
Yeah, a little bit. Oo nga.
Unlike yung pusa namin na parang, iwanan mo na pagkain, alis na kami.
Usually nga, yung mga pusa namin, they go missing for 3 days,
tapos
diba?
babalik na lang.
Yun.
Ayun. Tapos like, they're very independent cats. So yun, I want to have a dog. I want a husky or a pit bull.
We have a husky here, girl. Super ganda. Oo.
Na ba siya?
Hindi pa. wala.
Manghihingi bigla.
Actually, puppy pa lang siya. Kasi, puppy at 10 months.
Oh, okay.
Oo, mga ganun.
No, because
so,
really,
laki na rin niya.
I really want a dog.
Talaga, husky.
No, because because I just love how majestic they look.
Yeah.
The huskies.
At saka, yung dogs, kasi I walk my dogs almost every day.
Tapos they kind of go crazy when you don't walk them.
Oo nga eh. At saka, yung mga dogs kasi namin, yung mga dogs ko, isang Aspin at isang Husky. And one senior dog na 11 years old, yung na-meet mo kanina sa baba.
Yeah.
Yellow lab siya. Yun nga lang, hindi na siya makalakad. Hindi na siya makatayo eh. Kasi may mga sakit na siya.
Amazing that, you know.
But the two basically puppies eh. Kasi hanggang 2 or 3 years yata, technically puppy pa rin ng dogs eh.
Really?
No, parang ganun. Kasi, basta, super kulit pa rin.
Yeah, but they're big for puppies.
Oo nga eh. So, especially the girl, the husky, sobrang, pero when they, the thing that gets me, when they look at you, when they know that you're about to give time and walk them, parang yung joy na parang ang saya-saya niya, tapos sobrang I can't even put it into words. Sobrang parang napakasaya niya na kasama mo siya at sasamahan ka niya, that you're gonna spend time and it's just a simple walk. It's not much, 'di ba? And sobra yung pagmamahal na mararamdaman mo if you just stop and appreciate when the dog looks into your eyes and wait for you and then finally maglalakad kayo.
Else.
'Di ba? Parang it's a different kind of love na parang, do I really deserve to be loved by this much by a creature, 'di ba?
My ex had a dog. She's a border collie. And like I loved her so much. Like the only thing I miss about my ex is the dog.
Are we gonna talk about okay.
Gamenasai.
Okay.
Anyway, so like whenever I would give her treats, or like she knows that I'm gonna give her a treat, she's just like so excited. Or like whenever she hears my footsteps, she's recognized my footsteps now. Like whenever she hears my footsteps, she like her ears, like she's a border collie, so they're naturally down, but like it goes up like that. So parang like she jerks up, and then she runs to the door, like to the gate, and she pounces on me. She's so excited to see me, as if I haven't been home in like a year.
Mm-mm.
Pero like it's only been like 2 days.
Mm-mm.
And she's so excited.
Sobra.
It is so heartwarming na parang, oh my god, I don't deserve this. Tapos yung she's trying to claw me down.
Mm-mm.
Like, she's already on her like hind feet, right? Tapos like nandito yung paws niya. She's standing on her she's standing up. So she's trying to claw me down so she can lick my face.
Oh.
Tapos I would kneel down. Tapos she'd just be like all over music. And then like kunyari, hindi ko siya papansinin for like a second. Magsasalita siya ng
Yung mga husky lalo na.
yeah, it's so cute.
Border
It's
Collie
so-
is a big dog, di ba?
No,
Or maybe I'm
It's a shepherd
confusing. Okay.
they say that the border collie is
Yung may white? Yung ba yung may white dito? No? Or maybe I forget.
I'll search it. Pero kasi
Sige.
border collie apparently is the smartest breed.
Really? Dito, Google natin. Border Collie.
Border collie.
Anyway.
It's just she's so sweet and like sobrang na-miss ko tuloy siya. Yeah,
That one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one. They're considered apparently
see.
the smartest. So like whenever you see like
Mali yung naiisip ko.
whenever you see dog competitions, there's always a border collie in it.
Yeah. Yeah, oo nga. Very athletic kasi. Mga sheepdog.
It's a shepherd. Like shepherd dogs are normally are ranked high up in the smartness. And then next I think is like poodles and stuff like that.
Iba yung naiisip ko. The one is parang si yung baka collie lang yun. Ewan ko.
Collie. Si Lassie ba?
Oh, si Lassie, di ba?
I think-
Yun ang naiisip ko.
I think it's just a collie, I think, or like maraming breeds of shepherd dogs kasi.
Oo nga eh.
There's like Australia and blah 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 blah. blah.
May yung talagang dog ko was a what do you call this? A golden retriever. But then he died. Diba? So and then alam mo yun, it fucks you up eh. It fucks you up then hindi mo he would have been around 8 years old now. And the thing that's most tragic about dogs is that you're almost certain that you're gonna outlive them, diba? And then
There's this one meme on the internet that says like, he's only part of your life. But for him, for the dog, you're his whole life.
Diba?
And I'm just stop.
Diba?
Yeah.
And saka parang have you heard the quote na parang basta I don't know if it's a quote pero yung line na be the person who your thinks you are, who your dog thinks you are. Diba?
Oh wait, have you seen the trailer for Dog's Journey, was it?
Yeah.
It's the one that the
pero
dog
hindi
keeps
namin
coming-
pinapanood.
It's the dog. No, the dog that keeps getting. It's coming soon.
Yeah. I saw the anong
trailer?
name? Anong name?
Dogs-
What's the dog?
Dog's
Tell me the name. Dito
Journey?
natin na. Dog's Journey?
Is it Journey?
Dog's Journey movie. Basta parang, di ba, yung thing, kaya hindi ko, I don't know, if you're not a dog lover, this one?
Is
Kasi,
it Dog's Journey?
hindi mo talaga kung,
Yeah, I think it's that one.
kung dog lover ka talaga, you just stop and think about
Okay, so
the kind of
the
love.
premise of this movie is that dog, yung original owner niya, sinabi niya din, parang nagkaroon siya ng, yung original owner is a guy, tapos nagkaroon ng apo. Tapos, the dog was dying already of old age.
Oo.
And then, sabi nung owner, thank you so much for looking after me and the apo. And then, please take care of her in your next life. Tapos the dog just keeps coming back.
Ulit. So, the dog, parang kinakausap niya, the dog is about to die?
No, the like talaga siyang owner and dog. Na parang yung owner nagte-thank you do sa dog na parang thank you so much for what you did, like for my family, looking out for my granddaughter. Tapos
Who's talking? The owner?
the owner,
The owner,
dog.
okay.
Hindi, I mean, they're not talking.
Yeah,
Pero like she's, nagta-thank you siya because the dog was in his old age na.
Mm-mm.
So he's about to,
Mm-mm.
sad. Tapos, this is what I saw from the trailer. Tapos yung dog, basically, like, the dog fell in love with the granddaughter.
Mm-mm.
Parang she wants to protect and stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
Tapos, na-reincarnate yung dog to another dog.
Ah.
Tapos, for some reason, the dog will always try to find its way to the granddaughter. So, this whole life, the granddaughter's whole life, basically, it's the same dog coming back over and over again. Tapos, nare-recognize ng original owner na yun yung original dog.
Talaga?
Yeah. Tapos, ang cute-cute. And I'm just like, when I saw...
That's ano eh, parang...
it's coming soon pa eh. Tapos ako parang, I partly wanna see that movie and partly don't kasi I feel like I'm gonna cry.
Oo nga eh. Yun yung, that's the thing about these kinds of movies eh. Diba parang may iyak ka na lang. Maybe, ewan ko gusto ko nga ano eh. I also write kasi. So, that's, gusto ko gumawa ng isang story about a dog. A dog story.
Can we stop talking about dogs? I'm sad now.
Okay. What else can we talk about?
I don't know.
Thanos? Sige. Let's do we're supposed to do an endgame episode with Spider Dan sana. Hindi ko na lang i-announce muna.
We cannot talk about it, you know.
Why? We can talk about it.
I hate Thanos.
Why? Hindi kasi hindi natuloy.
Actually,
What I'm saying is hindi natuloy yung episode na yun.
Actually, no, I don't hate Thanos. I mean, I know I shouldn't be hating on Peter Quill.
Okay.
On Quill.
Uh-uh.
But like, I hate Quill.
Bakit?
Kasi
siya yung because of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Tony would be alive.
So who's your favorite Avenger? Thor? Oh, so what ano yung reaction mo when you saw Fat Thor?
I was just like, whoa. I mean, I get it, but whoa.
What whoa in the sense of what?
Like, I never thought that Marvel would go that way.
Oh nga eh, di ba? It was okay. Pero
No,
for
but
me,
it makes
bakit
sense,
why?
eh.
Why?
Okay, technically, he's lost his father.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his mom in Thor 2.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I never saw.
Okay.
He lost his father in... Basta yung kasama
In Ragnarok.
Yes, Ragnarok.
Yeah. And he lost Asgard.
He lost his brother in Ragnarok. He lost half of Asgard.
In Infinity War.
In Infinity War.
No.
And then, well, like, post-credits ng
Ragnarok?
No. Post-credits ng something. This is the confusing part. Pero it wasn't in the Infinity War. Yung parang nag-clash. Basta yun. Like, so, half of Asgard is now dead, right? Tapos yung natira, they tried to resettle on Earth. And then, Thanos snaps his finger. So, basically, 1/4 na lang ng Asgard.
Parang hindi yata nadama yung
Sure?
I think.
No, but...
Yeah. Probably 1/4 nga. Yeah.
Well, basically, like, I understand why he's like,
I think there I saw a video lang. This is not confirmed by Marvel or of the directors, pero parang since half na yung mga Asgardians, parang hindi na sinama ni Thanos sa snap.
Yeah, but
kasi
we don't know
he's
it.
already
but we
did
don't...
that
Yeah, but we don't know that.
Oo nga,
So,
yeah. So
it's not confirmed or anything. Pero like, honestly, my top 3
I didn't like Thor. Kumbaga, hindi ko gusto yung ginawa nila kay Thor na parang they okay lang na maging fat Thor pero to turn him into a loser. Ang loser niya 'Di ba? Kasi parang within ang story kasi ni Thor is he's an arrogant
he's a god.
He's an arrogant hindi naman siya piece of shit, pero he's an arrogant guy na parang entitled siya with gusto niya yung throne, di ba? Hindi siya makaget over. And then eventually he found that by Ragnarok,
honestly, I don't think his story is done yet.
Oo nga.
So, maybe we'll see something develop in the future.
Yeah, but the thing they turned him into Di ba he
I
in
mean, I
Ragnarok?
feel like they had to make sure na it's not it's like it's hard to say because sabi nila that Captain Marvel is the strongest in
Mm-hmm.
Avengers, the MCU right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe they had to do that a bit to Thor
Oo nga.
to make way
Yeah,
for
that's
Captain Marvel.
yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, because kasi if Captain
I
Marvel.
mean, if you see if kung like Thor Ragnarok,
Mm.
see Thor in Avengers, in Endgame with the Mjolnir and the
Oo nga,
Stormbreaker,
'di ba?
he would be OP. He
Oh.
would be one. He would be top one. But then like they had to put in Captain Marvel.
Yeah. So they had to make way. They had to nerf him
A
significantly.
bit, yeah.
'Di ba? Also the Hulk.
Yeah.
Ang pinaka nerf I think even more than Thor is the Hulk kasi in the comics parang 'di ba ang pinaka hindi ko matanggap na
Mm.
I love the movie
Mm-hmm.
uh, for me it's in sa pagka enjoyability nung Infinity War
Mm-hmm.
with Endgame nearly 10 yun eh. Kasi
Mm.
kung enjoy lang talaga, mag-enjoy and
Mm.
fan service and all, it's a 10 for me.
Mm.
Pero if yung mga nitpicks lang, if you start nitpicking,
Mm.
that's when you will find flaws and mababawasan yung rating
No,
mo.
but I feel like you don't. I think Marvel did a pretty good job in finishing this whole thing,
Yeah.
this whole chapter, because what they did in Endgame, like alam ko they had to cut so much eh.
Mm-hmm.
Sabi din sa mga
Most
articles na
likely.
parang they had to
Mm-hmm.
cut so much. There's so much on the cutting room floor that they had to minimize so that it's just 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But in that 3 hours, it didn't honestly when I was in the cinema, it did not feel like 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
It felt shorter.
Talaga.
Kasi I was so in it eh.
Oo.
Tapos parang they rounded off Tony's story
Mm-hmm.
because you know how Captain America is always telling that he's like Tony will never be the type of guy who'd want family, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
He's just an arrogant, billionaire, playboy,
Yeah.
genius, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that Tony Stark is. Tapos, I think it's one of the articles that I also na parang Tony says to Captain America that like he's just a science experiment.
Oo.
And then like
Everything
yeah, and
everything special
about you
about
came
you.
out to a bottle. And then like at the end of Endgame, like he wields Mjolnir. It's like,
Holy shit!
He's
That's
worthing.
it's a biggest the holy shit
yeah.
moment eh.
And like, for them to do that, na parang not everything about Captain America is just out of the bottle. It makes like he's worthy of Mjolnir. So like that's how it's so nice that they rounded it off like that for me.
Yeah.
Tapos with the Hulk, I think he's always just had that issue of trying to control Hulk.
Oo.
But it's a weird way.
But it's that's why I said kung bakit ko sinabi na hindi ako masaya kasi they had to nerf Hulk and in a way that he had the Hulk. This is the Hulk, the motherfucking Hulk, had to be
in a shirt.
had aside from that, had to be rescued under the rubble by Ant-Man, by the Giant Man. This is the fucking Hulk.
Yeah, but
Diba?
considering he snapped he snapped with the glove on and he didn't die.
Kahit na, si Hulk
I
pa rin
know,
yun. World breaker Hulk, diba?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, diba? Parang,
it's just sad kasi they had to.
it's almost sacrilegious to be for
It's like for me, parang they're also passing on the torch. Eh.
Yeah.
Endgame was basically them passing on the torch to the new Avengers.
Yes. That's why they had to nerf the other and
Yeah.
kumbaga Thor will never be nerfed kasi he's a god, basically.
Yeah.
Essentially a god. But they had to give him parang hang-ups and
Yeah.
umalis ka na lang dyan, di ba? Parang ganun.
I mean, Black Widow though.
It's,
You know what? Honestly, okay, it's the first time I saw the movie.
Mhm.
I was like, she died. Fuck. And then the second time I saw the movie, I was like, her last words are "see you in a minute." Like they were in the the platform,
Mhm.
and the last words before, I think it was Bruce or but before they turned on the machine.
Okay.
What the last words from everyone was Black Widow saying, "See you in a minute."
What does that tell you?
It's just like, why did you say that?
Bakit? Hindi ko gets.
No, it's just for me, like, why are those the last words you say to everyone? It's
What would you rather?
I don't know. Like, good luck. It's just, it's like, it was just heartbreaking because she left everyone hanging na parang she will be there when they get back there in a minute.
Okay.
That was when she got back. It just
Was that the line she said before they jumped into the
yeah.
Okay.
It was the last line she said before they jumped into
the
time
portal.
skip.
Oh, yeah.
And then like the only person that's ever heard her last words were, was Ronin / Hawkeye / many names. Ayun, so parang the last words you tell to, Steve and Bruce, because they have connection.
Oo.
Like Steve was going through I think it was like Captain America no. Winter Soldier? No. Basta yung isang Captain America na parang nag-bond si Black Widow and
Si Bucky? Captain America?
I think it was Winter Soldier maybe? No. Basta may isang movie na parang basta ang daming connections ni Black Widow kasi sa original 6 eh.
Oo.
Na parang, especially to Hulk and Captain America, I think.
Yung kay Captain America was, I think, platonic yung ano nila eh.
Yeah, but
with Hulk, parang may mali siya ng
love
konti.
Pero alam mo yun, parang, it's just so sad for me na parang yun yung last words yun. Na parang it just seemed like,
are you feeling parang bitten ka, it should have been more badass or what?
no, it was honestly the right type of way to say bye. Para sa akin.
So you're happy with that? Or
I mean, it's still sad, but, she's
it's
always...
appropriate.
Yeah, kasi she's always been a badass eh.
Oo nga.
Like, not, Romanov never showed her... Like, she's never really showed a softer side, kind of, in that sense.
Yeah.
Because she's just always the one who's tough and badass and kicking ass. Pero, like, that's her side of, na parang, it's okay, let me go. Na parang, oh my God.
Oo nga,
Ayan, tapos, it's just an amazing way. Tapos, honestly, one of my favorite, like, the parts, like, my favorite parts was, like, when all the women...
Oh, yeah.
I was just like, yes.
I call that the greatest SJW scene in movie history.
No, pero like, Peter said like...
Pero it was awesome. It was awesome to see those
women,
characters, the women. Diba? Tapos
because honestly,
sila.
from the original 6, diba? The only person you see there is like Black Widow. And then you come in Scarlet Witch, and Scarlet Witch was so like I know that in the comics she's very OP.
Scarlet Witch, yeah.
Because apparently she's merong part na parang she's only said like
no more mutants.
No more mutants, and like everyone's that's died.
No, parang basically he snapped. She Thanos snapped.
But yeah, but she's OP. Pero like in she was made more human in
pero still
MCU.
Very
pero like
powerful.
she almost defeated Thanos, diba?
She would have certainly defeated Thanos
until like yung nagpa-raid ng Thanos.
Diba?
Oh my God. Tapos yung parang nung
Kaya,
moment na Peter said ano yun?
You can't do that alone. Parang something like that.
She's not alone. And then everyone's just like, oh my God. I was just freaking out. I was like, oh my God, like Scarlet Witch doing the thing and like
sino yung nag-line na yun? Ng She's Not Alone.
I don't remember.
Alam mo, ang naisip ko, si Scarlet Witch yung si Black Widow yung nagsalita ng shit.
Like,
pero I remember now, deads nga pala si Black Widow.
Was it? No.
Is it Okoye? Or, hey guys, sino yung nagsabi ng,
it's not Valkyrie. Pero honestly, one big question in my mind, saan nila tinago yung Pegasus?
Oo nga. nga.
Like, is it in Norway? I will go to fucking I will go to Norway now.
Baka parang yung kung the same place where Optimus Prime hides his trailer. Bigla na lang
pero
dumadating, 'di ba, sa
oo.
cartoons dati. Dadating yung trailer ni.
Ang labo eh. Tapos, the moments that made me cry was, kasi I never had a father.
Mhm.
Or, I've had a father figure.
Mhm.
Like my uncle. Pero
Okay.
like, I've never had yung
The father.
father.
Mm-mm.
So like, when Peter came out of the portal,
Yeah.
na sinasabi niya, hey, Mr. Stark, apparently Doctor Strange tells me it's 5 years later, and then we have to do this, and then like, Tony just hugs him.
Oo.
And then, like, I think Peter says, like, oh, this is nice. And I was like, oh my God.
You felt that?
And like, nagbo-ball na yung tears ko eh.
Oh, there's a girl, especially when Tony died, she was inconsolable in the theater.
Really? No, pero like, so yung hug nila, diba? Nagbo-ball na yung tears ko eh.
Mhm.
I already put my hood up, okay?
Mhm.
Like, I was beside my friend and my boyfriend.
Mhm.
I already put my hood up. And I was like, no, I'm a tough girl. I'm a wrestler. You won't see me cry. Anyway, so nagbo-ball up na yung tears ko. And then, when, Tony snaps a finger, I was like, oh my God. And then, what got me was when Pepper said, you can rest now. As in, nagbo-ball up na yung ano ko, diba? Yung tears ko the whole time. It's like, nung sinabi niya, you can rest now, biglang na lang sila like, I was silent crying. Like,
Talaga?
I was wearing an oversized hoodie. I was like, may, alam mo yung pag masyado mahaba yung, so ganun lang ako. Tapos like, nararamdaman ko yung tears gumaganon eh.
How was the crowd in the theater that you watched in?
It was, Ayala.
Sa amin kasi, I think, they puno ng majority of the audience that night were MCU fans talaga. So they were acting properly on the scenes, and lahat kami, yeah. Ganun talaga. So walang
No.
we were like parang a group of talagang friends watching and we understand.
Yeah.
Everybody understands
No,
each
kasi
other.
yung first time ko manood, it was like a screening, di ba? For Avengers talaga. So like, it was more people were, more
Proper?
So
Okay.
parang me and my boyfriend were like, we were silently shouting.
Ganon.
Yeah, and like nung dumating nung
The cavalry arrived.
the thing is like, yung sinabi sino ba yun? Ni Falcon?
On your left, that
Like,
one.
we looked at each other real quick and was like, then we watched again. And like, biglang all the portals. Like, oh my God. I was like, so I was like, I was holding his hand. And then, nung narinig ko na sinabi ni Cap, like, Avengers. I squeezed his hand really tight. And
Avengers.
he's like, oh, symbol. And I was like,
Yeah. I shouted. I shouted
no,
that
kasi
time.
I couldn't do the whole thing because everyone in the theater was prim and proper. Like, it was a proper screening na parang everyone was silent and really watching with their like hearts. And I'm just like,
Who are these people?
and then
Why they don't deserve the
Yeah.
the special screening?
and then nung second time ko nanood, it was in McKinley Hill. Tapos it was just may konting cheers.
Ganun.
Pero parang hindi pa yung full on na.
Oo. This is what day? What day nung second viewing nyo upon release?
Kasi diba it released on a Wednesday.
Oo. Ako kasi second day ako nakapanood eh.
Yung first time ko kasi everyone was really focused on it kasi first day. Like, people didn't want to miss anything. Pero yung second time ko, it was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 5 days after?
5 days after. Okay.
Pero like, I think meron kasi yung we watched in Venice. Sa may McKinley Hill. I think meron pang mga tao na yung late na parang ito pa lang yung first nila.
We watched in UP Town Center. ano siya, educated MCU fans yung ano,
Oh,
yung
no.
mga kasama namin. So
Mm.
so you can ano.
Like I want to watch it again with just like a group of my like a group of MCU friends,
Mm.
like MCU fan friends of mine,
Oh.
and I feel like if I cheer, they will cheer also, just because I know how much they love it and how much I love it. I was like,
Have you seen the post na merong nag-post na ano na this guy,
mm,
I don't know, naka-erase yung ano yung name niya. Pero parang he or she was parang sinasabihan niya yung mga tao na, "Hey guys, wag kayong manood sa SM Mega Mall kasi ang ano yung term niya? Ang squammy ng mga tao
kasi
doon.
nag-cheers
Kasi
daw.
nag-cheer daw. So what the fuck are you, 'di ba?
It's just it's annoying because like why would cheering equivalent to that, like it's just people,
Oo nga
it's a
eh.
big thing.
You
It's
don't get it,
it
man, 'di ba?
it's the thing is like it this is the ultimate build up.
Oo nga
Like
eh.
this movie is the this movie was everything what's built for, you know?
Oo.
Like yung 12 years ng MCU is for this one thing. It's
Oo
for
nga.
Avengers Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm.
Honestly, I wanna watch it together.
Oo nga, no? Actually,
Feeling ko
dapat.
magiging solid. Solid yun.
Grabe. Aside from ano, yun lang the nerfing of Thor and tawag dito, Hulk, yun lang hindi ko masyad kasi they could have gone a different path.
Mm.
For me, I would have killed Thor instead. And
Pero hindi.
the Iron Man retires in a different timeline with the family na
Pero
yung family niya. I would have
hindi pa
killed Thor
rin eh.
instead.
Pero kasi you can't kasi you can't
Kasi you can in the comics kasi the title of being Thor can be passed to anyone eh. Kasi yung worthiness, as long as you're worthy, you can have the power of Thor. So kahit kanino, pwede na palitan yun. Pero the Iron Man, there's only one Tony Stark for me ah. That at least that's one possibility of how I would write it instead. I would kill off Thor and leave allow Tony Stark to be happy with on a separate timeline with his family.
Pero kasi, you can't really do anything else with Tony Stark at that point eh.
Bakit?
No, kasi with Thor, you can always like bring him back to where he was supposed to be.
It's
I mean, he got nerfed and then maybe he, like, I don't,
yeah. Mm.
pwede siyang bumalik. Pero kasi with Tony, like,
I see. Yeah.
he's just gonna be a family guy
Mm.
if he lives on.
Okay. Pwede.
Eh, tapos parang mas naka-intrigue para sa akin kung ano yung mangyayari after Tony's gone. Kasi you see Harley from Iron Man 3. The tiny kid.
Yeah, that one.
The teenager in the funeral.
Mm-mm.
And then parang like, is he gonna be the next Iron Man? Is
I think.
it time to be like, is it time for Iron Spider?
Iron Spider na si
I
Peter.
know, pero like yung full on.
Parang dating kasi
Yung dati parang nag-experiment pa lang siya na parang I'm not used to this yet.
well, the media, at least sa press releases, people are saying that Captain Marvel will become the new face of the MCU eh. 'Di ba? Pero parang yung ngayon some people are saying that after seeing the trailer for Homecoming, the other one, Far From
Far from
Home,
home.
Spider-Man, parang si Peter Parker ang binibuild up, at least in the story.
No, pero feeling ko kasi ito yung Far From Home is a cleanup eh.
Oo nga. At sabi nila,
Sabi nga din nila, diba?
parang yun yung last actually na movie ng
For
phase
this-
ng phase 3
yeah.
eh. 'Di ba? Not exactly Endgame.
Yeah, because ito yung ito yung direct na timeline na magiging parang talagang ito yung makikita mo na like life after Tony Stark or like life after the snap.
Mm-mm.
Ito yung kakabalik lang ng classmates Peter,
Oh,
kakabalik
lahat
lang.
sila, apparently, all of them were snapped away. Kaya magkakasing edad pa rin sila.
Grabe. I feel bad for the teachers.
I think the new Zendaya is too big of a star to to allow her to just play a supporting role na MJ. Kasi may MJ na Spider-Man eh. I think she's gonna be a superhero later on. Yun.
We don't know. Maybe. No, pero alam mo
Ayaw
yun.
mo ba?
Pero I'm not against it, but I honestly would love na parang kung maging siya man also like spider person.
Mhm.
It would be awesome because honestly, I'm tired of MJs being
Yeah.
damsels in distress.
Oo nga.
It's just like parang yung, like, I mean, Emma was honestly so cute as, leading woman of Peter.
Emma Stone?
Yeah, Emma Stone.
Oo nga, no?
Pero like, she was just another,
Oo nga, Well, actually, the parang when they killed her off, biglang nawala yung, okay, hindi na masaya yung Spider-Man franchise na to. Di ba? Kasi a lot of the first, yung success ng first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man
It was
is
their
based on the
banter,
chemistry.
Yeah.
Diba? So, okay pa.
Parang,
Diba? Tapos,
okay, namatay na siya. Okay.
wala na. Anyway.
Ayun, so parang sad lang. Actually, like, Zendaya would be awesome. Because she seems like not the normal MJ.
Oo nga,
Parang, siya, like, extra spunky, boyish.
Tsaka, ewan ko hindi siya annoying eh. Hindi siya annoying na medyo
I'm sorry, but
condescending siya, pero hindi siya
Hindi siya
annoying.
yung first, si Kristen
Dunst?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi parang, it was so annoying. I really didn't like the first. I mean, Tobey Maguire was amazing. Because it's childhood. Pero honestly, the Spider-Man that I prefer is this one.
This one,
Yeah.
okay.
Yung Disney
Marvel.
Disney Marvel.
MCU Disney.
Mhm.
Anyway. Grabe, no? Ilang movies pa tong MCU na yan. And ang daming
Alam ko may lineup na sila until like what?
there's even
2022?
Di lang.
23?
I don't know. Baka di ko alam. I'm sure for the next 10 years or until 2030 siguro may plano na sila dyan.
Probably.
Oo, di ba? Kasi they're gonna bank on
Pero oh my god, we're gonna be so old
Oh,
when what, phase 6, phase 7? I mean, kakatapos ng phase 3. And it took us 12 years to get here.
That's why what I said here on the podcast kasi is parang when Iron Man came out, the first one,
I was like 13.
really? Okay, diba?
Or 12.
Ano siya, ang pinaka tamang call na ginawa ng Marvel is to make it a kids movie. Or at least by then start standards. It is hindi ganun hindi dark, it's light, it's easily absorbed. Basta anybody can comprehend what it is, and it's enjoyable.
Yeah, because I feel like if they tried to do the whole too serious thing.
Diba? The way DCEU yung path na kinuha nila.
Yeah.
Kasi in making the movies lighthearted or light in general, they captured an entire generation eh. So, 'di ba, yung sinabi ko,
it's our generation.
not
just
our
ours.
generation. Yung mga bata, the 8-year-olds during that time. 'Di ba? So, even you can just imagine their entire lifetime there be
Look, it's their
captured
Harry
na
Potter.
sila.
It's their Harry Potter.
Yun.
Kasi ako Harry Potter ako yung parang 7
Yeah.
till I was a teen.
Really?
Pero kasi iba pa rin yung tama ng MCU for me. Kasi ito yung MCU was the one that I was like, oh, I'm conscious about life. Kasi yung when I rewatched Harry Potter like in recent years, parang how do I not remember any of 1, 2, and 3?
Talaga.
No, because I was really a kid.
Yeah, of
I was like,
course.
what, 8, 7?
Pero you
7,
remember
8?
how you felt when you...
Yeah, I was scared of Voldemort.
Talaga?
No, because I hated the first movie.
Really?
Because the unwrapping of the head part.
Mm.
Like, the double... Like, Voldemort was like...
Yeah. Oh, I
It was
remember.
so creepy to me. Like, I was, what, 7 or 8?
Mm-mm.
Like, so, I was like, yun. Tapos, like, I think yung... the snakes... meron yung isang movie na... Yung
Basilisk?
yung puro spiders pa.
That one.
And
Oo.
then I was like, my God, I was so terrified. But yeah, I grew up with Harry Potter. But I wasn't completely conscious about it.
Mm-mm.
Like, alam mo yun, I watched it because it was there. It was my childhood.
Mm-mm.
But like, it was the MCU movies
Mm-mm.
that really... Because I started watching it when I was like 13. I was 13. Like, I was in high school na.
Mm-mm.
And then I remember watching Iron Man at least. Or kasi I don't remember watching the first Harry Potter because I was too young.
Oo, too young.
But I mean, I get your point na parang this generation,
Oo.
it's their childhood.
Kasi yung isang ano ko dyan is, di ba, ikaw, if I'm gonna ask you to demonstrate how it is to fly, what would you do? Let's say you're gonna fly right now.
I would jump off and then...
Are you gonna go like this?
No. Actually, I would, crouch down and you do that.
Ganon.
I don't know. Pero I get it kasi I get your point na parang ang ganda nung ginawa ng Marvel.
No, yung just to complete that, I saw kids kasi sa pool dati or basta they're playing. Yung
Also,
action nila yung flying action nila is not like this anymore. Nakaganon na sila.
Really?
Oh, ewan ko if that's maybe it's just that basta but I've observed that on several kids. So ibig sabihin, yun yung ano nila, yun yung nakita, that's basically their Superman.
I feel like ganito lang ako kasi Thor. No, kasi my favorite Avenger is Thor. Kasi diba, for years, ganun siya, mag-fly.
Oo.
Kasi he throws Mjolnir.
Oo nga.
Because like back then, Thor couldn't fly because he couldn't hone his powers fully. Kasi diba, he can fly now, pero like he may lightning naman.
Sinabi ni Stanley yun, na parang that is the most scientific daw. Kasi when he saw Superman,
he throws, diba?
When he saw Superman, parang paano nakakalipad dyan? Yun ang iniisip niya. How does he fly? Tapos parang that doesn't make any sense to me.
So he made Thor.
So ang ginawa, so Thor, he has this hammer and then he spins it and then throws it and then he flies with the hammer.
He so that is the most it and he's just hanging onto the hammer. Ayun,
so that's the most scientific way though.
That's why I would fly like this. Kasi Thor is my favorite.
Okay.
So like, and then like that. Pero like it's medyo nakakatawa yung ganun na sila lumipad. Kasi I feel like
diba? Nagulat din ako eh.
Kunyari, if I was a kid now, that's what I would do also. Kasi if I was a kid now, my favorite would be either Scarlet Witch or, Captain Marvel. And they both fly like...
Talaga? Oh,
si Captain Marvel more just like, she floats like...
Oo nga, no?
Ito si Scarlet Witch, like she levitates her body. Pero like whenever she lands, she does that. Like parang ina-exert niya yung powers niya pababa para soft landing. Ayun.
Galing.
Diba? Pero ang galing nung sorry. Merong one day I will, just one whole like 4 days I will watch it in order.
Oh, okay. I think I've done that a few times. Pero hanggang lang, I think hanggang Civil War lang.
Pero hindi yung full na eh. Kasi I feel like, di ba, they say na the first movie you should watch is like, what, Captain Marvel?
What do you mean? It's for the MCU? First official movie is Iron Man 1.
No, pero like Yung timeline-wise.
Sa timeline. Kung timeline, edi Captain America.
Captain America. Tapos,
Mm-mm.
I think it's like Captain Marvel next.
Captain America, and then I think Captain Marvel nga.
Diba? Kasi it's set in the 80s, 90s.
Mm-mm. Pero Captain Marvel, si Hank Pym, yung original na Ant-Man, is active na during that time too. Yeah, oo nga. Captain Marvel yung kasunod.
Basta may nakita akong post na gano'n na parang in sequence siya. Tapos susunod yung ganito.
May magkakaiba naman yung sequence niya kasi you can get bits from each of the movies para kasi katulad nung timeline nung namatay yung parents ni Tony Stark, 'di ba, sa Winter Soldier. 'Di ba? Parang they were assassinated by Winter Soldier. Tapos it happened in the 90s around the time na Captain Marvel era. Early 90s yata yun, 'di ba? Yung
I mean, I would know. I'm a fan of bell bottoms, and
yeah.
honestly, I appreciate Captain Marvel so much because like I love the 90s.
Talaga.
I love 90s fashion.
I
feel like if you see my Instagram, I wear a lot of I wear a lot of bell bottoms.
Talaga.
I own like 3 pairs. I own 2 pairs of bell bottoms and like a pair of elephant pants.
You rock the elephant pants.
Yes, I do. That's yun. Parang I just love that movie.
That's what yun ang hindi ko nagawa. I did the red pants, yung cross colors pa dati, 'di ba?
Oh,
yung hip hop na,
yeah.
'di ba? Yun. I did that. Pero yung elephant pants hindi. Mga tito. You're not so tita. Come on.
No, pero kasi it's more fashion now.
Is it? Talaga?
No, parang okay. I'll show you, like, they're not fully elephant anymore. Does that make sense? Pero kasi, like, okay. Wait, I'll show you a photo. Downloads. Messenger. Okay, this this is a photo of just me in Singapore. I mean,
so you
like,
recent
they're really,
lang.
yeah.
Ooh.
Like, I wore them the other day. Like, they're really wide-legged.
Talaga?
So, like, imagine like 2 times of my leg. Like, parang kunyari, yung my legs are together, that's one side, that's one pant. It's like 2 of them. Pero like, they make it more high fashion, like they make it more fashionable now, na parang naka-taper in siya, high-waisted, you know, all that. Tapos paper bag may type. Basta. Pero like, it's
Where'd you get it?
Here in the Philippines.
Talaga?
Yeah, like Bershka. Yeah. I go to Bershka a lot because it's my style. Anyways. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very weird. I like weird pants.
I'm not into I like ang pinaka nagustuhan kong clothes right now are the sweatpants.
Oh, the jogger trend. The jogger trend.
Oh, 'di ba? Wow, andali, hindi mo na kailangan mag jeans, 'di ba? Parang you can wear it at home. I'm wearing it one right now.
Honestly, yun yung masaya ngayon. Yung parang naging uso kasi yung parang sleepwear into normal clothes.
Oh, nga
For women also. For women it's mostly yun eh. Tapos like I think yung athletic wear for going out as well. So like yung joggers,
I think it's the
yung
guys yoga pants eh.
Yeah.
Diba?
Parang kasi nangyari recently in recent years parang nag-cross yung purposes. Like kasi 'di ba before like jogging pants are just for jogging. Pero now they make it more in a way fashionable na parang you can go out with it.
Oo nga eh, no?
Na parang you see people in the clubs wear joggers.
Okay. How do the mentality shift kaya, no?
I don't
Bigla
know.
what?
Parang galing, diba?
All of a
Kasi before, people would wear like corsets slash, like women would wear corsets, lingerie. Pang ilalim lang talaga. Or like pang, you know, bed stuff.
Okay.
Pero nowadays, they actually wear it as, you know, normal clothes. Parang they, parang to make it less sexy, they would wear it with a pair of jeans. Tapos more casual look. Tapos may jacket. Tapos may ganun na looks.
Naka-corset ka ba? May attire ka bang corset in your, parang I remember you.
Yeah, I do.
You have
I did. Tapos I think I have one photo on Instagram where I am actually wearing a corset and like a pair of bell bottoms. Tapos hindi siya mukhang corset.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Let's see. Wow. Wow, teka. Tapos,
Ayun, parang ang galing lang kasi fashion trends, like, because ang galing, parang yung purposes ng things ngayon, hindi na lang for what it's intended to. Like, for example, joggers or kaya leggings. Leggings dati, pang workout lang.
oo nga.
Pero ngayon, you see women wear leggings everywhere.
At saka yung di ba? Yung yoga pants nga, di ba? Parang you can
Dress it up, dress it down.
Tsaka, ewan ko I don't
You
know
would
if
only
it's
see women like wear yoga pants for yoga.
yeah. I think it's also comes with the times, no?
Yeah.
Kasi parang well, fashion is also weird. I don't know kung inabutan mo yung at one point in the 90s or late 80s, naging uso yung cycling shorts.
Yeah. Actually, bumabalik na siya ngayon.
Diba? Cycling shorts.
Bumabalik na siya ngayon.
As actual clothes or kasi
As
the
actual
compression
clothes.
pants, the compression
No.
shorts is
As in, they call it biker shorts now.
talaga?
Yes. No, ito yung thing You know how fashion in the past always comes back?
Oo nga, yeah, of course.
2019 has been the year of 90s.
2019. Okay.
2019, 2018. As in, alam mo dati, like, uso yung satin dresses, corsets, and whatnot. Ngayon, uso na rin siya ulit.
Talaga?
Nauuso na yung bell bottoms. Di ba, uso siya dati? Uso na siya ngayon ulit. It's like, very, very grungy na ngayon. Parang 90s fashion talaga.
I need to...
Tapos, what's funny about it is, what you call this? There are the teens nowadays, because ang uso ngayon is like 90s fashion, right? They're searching up yung mga fashion runway photos from the 90s, and then they're posting it nowadays as aesthetic or like goals. And I'm just like, wow. Ganun naka-throwback. Oh my gosh.
Do you, teka.
What's up?
I was about to ask your age.
I'm 25. I'm
25 ka?
Yeah.
Okay, so hindi ka pa... So, paano mo yun? Hindi ko pa anong pinakang inabutan mo? With 2000, ilang taon ka? Elementary ka pa lang.
I was elementary. Pero kasi, for years, I was, like, you know how I was trying to find myself? I was trying to find my style.
Yeah.
I hate colors.
Colors?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't like wearing colors. So, like, that eliminates, like, what, 80s fashion.
Yeah,
And 2000s fashion.
Oo nga.
Tapos parang, my style isn't really that girly. So, like, I don't do the whole bohemian looks. I don't wear any dresses. I don't wear floral prints. So, like, what I gravitated towards to was yung 90s grungy fashion. Like, yung uso yung plaid.
Talaga?
Yung mga leather, yung mga bot.
I think I see some photos of you wearing mga ganun.
Hindi ako ma-dressy person eh. So, yun.
Yun.
Yeah. Fashion.
Alright. So, let's see. Uubusan na tayo ng space.
Wait. We have a giveaway.
Yeah. Oo nga. I'm gonna announce it na lang kasi naubusan na tayo ng viewers. Pero to those lucky viewers, if you can share this video, teka, paano gagawin natin?
So,
just comment. Let's have them comment.
Maybe like, comment, and then, I'd say like follow both pages maybe. Follow my page, Krystal, and follow
this page, the Powerful Komiksman podcast,
and then comment on whatever he
Or we can just choose a comment here. Kasi ang dami namang nag-comment dito sa
Okay,
stream
so
di
yeah,
ba?
pwede naman.
So
We'll just randomly choose a comment like sometime.
uh
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow because
Tomorrow.
it's late na.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then I actually have new merchandise coming up.
Alright.
So this is the first time I'm going to ever say this on social media, but I do have new T-shirts.
Mhm.
Yay! It's been more than a year since I've had a T-shirt. So what's awesome about this new T-shirt of mine? It's actually in collaboration with Batas from Flip Top
Okay.
because he is my tattoo artist. So he designed the print
Mhm.
itself, and then I've had that printed on a T-shirt, and
Do you have a sample here? No?
I have a sample of the art, but no sample of the actual shirt.
Okay. So we're gonna choose Krystal, I'll let you choose na lang.
Okay, so
Oh.
is that registering? Okay, so
Ito. Can I design your next shirt next time?
maybe I'm down to do that. But yeah, it's a
Why that design?
because okay. Well, I gave Batas a lot of freedom,
Mm-mm.
but it's basically kind of like a crystal crown
Mm-mm.
on the skull.
Okay.
No, because like beforehand, I was a bad girl.
Bad girl. Okay.
I was heel.
Yeah.
So
I see.
also because I feel like after 2019 is the year that I've actually no just this March was when I started to feel like I have grown into my skin.
Okay.
So like I feel like after my match with Emi Sakura, I was reborn into who Krystal is now. So maybe because I'm a bad girl, there's a skull, blah blah blah, and then the crown, the crystal crown, because
Krystal.
I'm a queen.
Yeah.
It's a crown and crystal, duh. And then I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a white shirt. It's blueprinted white shirt
Wow.
because all my all my previous T-shirts have been black or blue,
Mm-mm.
and like not a lot of people in the wrestling community, wrestlers normally don't put out white shirts. It's always like black
Or red sometimes.
dark maroon, like
Okay.
maroon or navy. So like, it's never light colors. So that's why I wanted to put out a white shirt. Also, it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be a shirt and then 2 prints. I have like 2 photos. Yeah, they're going to be on the giveaway.
Yeah.
Yay.
So you can pick up the giveaway where?
At on
Mm-hmm.
on May 26th at Power Max Center Spotlight at Ayala Circuit Makati.
Mm-hmm.
And then just whoever gets picked, we will message you, and then Mr. Jerald here will message you, and then you will contact me on the day itself. It's going to be the show is going to be at 2 p.m. So probably before that, like mga 1:30 or like after
May 26, no?
May 26.
Oh, pwede ako manood. Manood
Ooh.
tayong lahat. Punta ako, sasama ako.
Yes, please. Just message me so I can give you discounts.
Sige.
So, what's gonna happen is, either hopefully, like mga siguro 1:30 or 1 p.m., I will be able to give you the shirt. Just message me the size
Mm-hmm.
so I can get it ready. Because it's a limited amount of T-shirts.
Okay.
I've only printed out like 30.
How many are we gonna choose?
Just one.
Just one? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Hindi po ako yung
Support, everybody support Pinoy wrestling,
Yes,
'di ba?
please.
'Di ba? So it's a thriving pero it's still a small
It's small, but
endeavor.
it's thriving.
Yeah,
It's-
pero so let's make it bigger by supporting
Yes.
the industry. Yun.
Yeah. Yay.
And get to meet and greet ba?
Yeah, meet and greet me because
Yes.
I'm basically going to give you the shirt. So
Alright.
so yun, it's gonna be two prints and then a T-shirt, valued at more than I can't compute.
I'm gonna pour you.
Konti lang.
Konti lang. Sige,
Konti
sige.
lang. Kasi,
Before we end this, kasi mauubusan tayo ng ano,
yung viewers.
And then, nung
Oh,
memory.
space. Oh, wow. Okay.
But we had...
It's not even the viewers that are going away.
We're... I feel like we can still go on for another 3 hours.
Maybe,
But,
because honestly,
but-
it's honestly so easy to talk to you.
Thank you.
And I am a very talkative person,
Mhm.
so it's honestly been a wonderful podcast.
Thank
Because
you.
honestly, the other no shade to the other podcasts that I've been on, but it's always just so businessy. Like na parang okay, wrestling. Na parang
I see.
oh, what did you do before wrestling? How is wrestling? What is wrestling?
Mhm.
For wrestling, and I'm just like, I'm a
Yeah.
person too. I have other interests.
I podcast for podcasting's sake. I got that from a friend who watches too, ish, and that's I'm actually an advocate of podcasting in the Philippines. I think a lot of like what we said, like what you shared
Yeah.
tonight, yung mga about yung
Yeah.
your the things that you've been through and the
Yeah.
things that went through your head while going on this journey, diba? I think Filipinos need to be inspired, and there's plenty a surplus na immense surplus na ng mga kasabawan out there. Not that I'm above that,
Yeah.
but I think importante rin that we hear yung mga bagay na
Other
substantial.
people's stories.
Yes.
I mean, it's not every day that we come across someone who's willing to share.
Share.
Because most of the time, I think Filipinos are not just Filipinos, I think everyone, they're very close.
Mm-mm.
Not a lot of people are open enough to share
Yes.
stuff. So I think it's a good way for, podcasts.
Mm-mm.
It's a good way for people to see other people are open to share.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's open to share, let's be
Yes.
real.
Well, it's scary. It's scary
It
if
is
you-
scary, but then it's honestly like,
It takes a lot.
it's a
diba?
relief to be able to share.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of comfort for the person who's sharing.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you ask me, say, 3 years ago
Mm-mm.
to talk about what I talked about today,
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
It took me a while to be able to, be able to talk about it freely, and because I realized there are other people who are going through this,
Yes.
and if I'm willing to share, and then if my success would help, I will.
Yes.
So it's podcasts and streams in a way can help reach out to other people, so which is amazing.
Sa may lamok. Which that's beautiful. So yun, I have a feeling this is not gonna be our last podcast together.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're gonna see Krystal again here sooner or later, and it's been a pleasure.
It's been amazing.
Podcasting with you, dream come true for me. Cheers.
Cheers.
Huh. All right, let's end this. Powerful Komiksman. Wait. Podcast.
Podcast.